Boo. Fucking sweet dick.
What? You won't let me swap them out. What the hell's going on? Oh, there we go.
Islamic jihadis are plotting against you here and all over the United States. They are not coming, they are already here. They have unpacked their bags, set up their sails, and are walking your streets. Islamic radicals have declared war on you. And listen to what they are saying. I just took a few examples. I could give you hundreds of examples. I chose a few. Like Uthman ibn Farouk, a Pakistani-born Californian who was recently speaking in Texas. And he said, the future is ours. America will be a Muslim country. Islam will enter every house. We are unapologetic. We are uncompromising. And listen to a sheikh at a Muslim conference here in America. He told his audience, Islam has a political mandate so that you can rule the society in which you find yourself. And sometimes you have to burn it down before you can rebuild. And we are at a moment of reckoning. We have to introduce an attitude of power. And in Michigan, Imam Isa Abdul Karim spoke in the same vein at the lecture in Detroit a few weeks ago. And he said, Muslims do not fear death. And he said it to explain why they do not fear to blow themselves up. And he said, this gives us power over them. And in Florida, a few weeks ago, another imam said, jihad is who we are. And my message to you, my dear friends, is please listen to these people. Heed their words. Do not make the fatal mistake many German Jews made in the 1930s by thinking they are just exaggerating for effect. Those people do not speak in metaphors. They mean every word they tell you. Take them literally. Because if you don't, this is what's going to happen. They will, and I'm not exaggerating, they will burn down your society. They will blow up themselves in the middle of your streets. These radicals hate America. They do not want to join the American dream. They want to end it. That's their agenda. Islamic jihadis are plotting against you here and all over the United States.
That was just starting to flip back around a little. Hey there, Mark. We may have lost JoJo. We doing some promos or are we going on? Well, welcome to News on the Flip Side. Joe must be away from the mic at the moment. I just played that little clip. I think that's kind of interesting. A lot of people are really mad about the ICE thing going on. Part of the problem is that some of those, if he's right, and I think he is, if part of these ISIS cells, Al-Qaeda cells, any kind of terrorist cells are in America, it's very likely they got in under Biden's administration with open borders. And I don't know how, I just got this video today, so I don't know how accurate it is, or if we even had a chance to vet it during the show, but it's kind of scary to think about it. If we weren't doing the ICE thing, we're looking at 20 to some 30 million people who have come into this country. We don't know who they are. They could be trained military soldiers. They could be special forces. They could be drug dealers. We don't know. So this is, I don't know. It's kind of scary. I didn't have a chance today to really look at this more than just listening to it a couple of times. He's got a pretty good stern warning. Just think about it. If they're already here, and we don't know who they are, they came in undocumented. That's exactly what that means. They came in where there's no information on who came across the border. We don't know what they brought with them. We don't know what they got once they got here, what kind of equipment they have. If they set up cell organizations throughout the United States, it's very possible they could cripple us pretty good, especially if they know where to strike our infrastructure. So I think we're in for some very, very scary times coming up. So, but possibly on the bright side, yay, Greenland. Earlier in the year, many of my friends, well, not many, a few of my friends said that Trump is a dictator. Trump is going to take over the world. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Well, I didn't think he was. So he's done things I didn't think he was going to do. No one thought he was going to do. They weren't even rumored. We've taken over Venezuela. Colonialization has begun again. I think that's going to become a territory eventually, if not right away. And now we have the tenets of a tentative agreement with Greenland, or at least with the European Union, not necessarily with the Norwegians who control Greenland. But it looks like we might be in control of that, expanding our territory even further. So it actually puts us with the largest mass of land on the European continent, or near the European continent, with Greenland. Then we've got the largest chunk of the, of the Americas. How many miles are we? At least 233,000 square miles of country that we own. And then we've got California on the West Coast and Alaska. They're both pretty big places to fend off Russia. Very, very strategic area. I'm glad we got it, but I'm afraid that if he keeps going like this, he grabs another piece of land. I don't see that NATO wouldn't want to dissolve and maybe start World War III with him. What do you think, Joe?
Sorry, guys. I wiped out a Coke right as we were going live. I'm just grateful it went the other way and not on top of the computer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it just wiped out. I had to get the numbers and all because I keep numbers on paper book. Oh, it's a nightmare. It's the reason why I posted it because you got Greenland, Cuba, Venezuela. That's all going to be territories.
Yeah.
Eventually, see, right now they're going to give us Greenland 100 years or 200 years or 500 years, some stupid amount of time. And eventually we'll just work with the Greenlanders to take over.
Well, what they were saying after the conference was it didn't seem like there was going to be a time frame on it. Like it would be indefinite.
Well, the way he said it was an extremely, you know how he exaggerates things out, long time. Meaning that, a couple of 100 years or something. But who knows for sure? Right now, he's got to deal with, he's meeting with Putin and, Zelensky about territory, and of course, the Ukraine. So they got all kind of stuff going on. But if he gets what he wants, with the Greenland, which it looks like he's going to get what he wants, it puts Russia and China on a back foot, which is what we needed. It makes them have to rethink how they're going to do things. But people, I don't think they really understand how important Greenland is. Not the fact that it's got tons of minerals and rare earth elements and stuff like that, but that's not really why we need it, because we can get them from Brazil or anywhere else. Right above it, there's a circle in the air right above it. And if you launch a continental ballistic missile, almost every one of them are going to go through there. Oh, yeah. And if they do, we'll be able to shoot them down. Mm-hmm. See, the reason they don't send them over continents now is because they'll get shot down. But this way, it's a clear piece of air. Nobody's got up there. Somehow or another, China's trying to...
It's a military base. We don't have any anti-missile stuff there. It's not a forward-facing Air Force defense base.
It's a space base.
It's Space Force, yeah.
Yes, which means we got air defense there. So, in case y'all didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, Space Command's in charge of defense now. The Pentagon does their thing, and the Air Force and Navy get their instructions, but they all, including DARPA, answer to Space Force. That was the whole project. The whole reason they did the project like that is because you can't have the Air Force going off and doing one thing in space and the Navy doing something else and DARPA doing something else. It gets out of control and spends a lot of money a lot of times on stuff that's already being produced somewhere else. So they gave Space Command almost all control over that. It pissed DARPA off when DARPA had to start answering to Space Command.
Yeah.
Like, well, who are you people? You're like not even a real branch of the service, man.
They're just civilian contractors, really.
Well, not anymore. I met the 3-star general who was in charge and the 2-star general who was right below him. They were keynote speakers at Right Is the Future.
But they, I mean, it is it's a government controlled entity, but it is basically made up of, I mean, Skunk Works, Delta, Boeing. They all of them have top secret projects in DARPA.
Well, they all got top secret projects now, but Space Command oversees them all.
Yeah,
They're even overseeing Artemis, which is NASA.
yeah. Well, that's part of the defense program.
Anything that's going to go in space has to go through them. It's bottom line for them. That's what Trump originally thing was, and when he first did this back in, was it 2000? What was it, 16 or 15, whatever the hell he did it.
Yeah, 2016 to 20.
Yeah. When he did it, that was the whole good plan of this, was to be able to have one space force, build one giant space force. So so you don't have a problem with the Navy going out and building spacecraft or the Air Force, but in the end, they're going to answer to Space Command. They have their own entity and they can do their own thing, but when it comes to space, they're going to answer to Space Command. It's just the way they want it, and it's the way it should be. The Air Force don't go screwing around in the oceans. They call the Navy. The Navy don't go screwing around on land. Well, they do sometimes, but for the most part, the Navy stays on the water. Well, they go on land sometimes. The Marines can't help themselves, man. The Marines got to get their hands dirty every once in a while. So do the SEALs, too. They can't help themselves. But honestly, the SEALs don't go on land as much as you think they do. A lot of their shit's done underwater. Oh, here's one for y'all. So yesterday, I'm sorry. News is always a day behind. So the other day, we're flying, we're driving a big, huge supercarrier through the China Strait, through this China Sea. And of course, China says that's their territory. Now, of course, we don't. We say it's fair practice or fair, where you drive through it. And so does Japan, so does North Korea. I mean, so does South Korea.
I mean, it's fair play to it. They try to cut our stuff, our ships off in the middle of international seas.
Well, that's what they're saying. That's what they're calling it. It's the Chinese Strait or whatever. They built these artificial islands out there, and now they're saying it belongs to China. Well, the Philippines told them to go F themselves. Japan told them to go F themselves, and so did everybody else. And the U.S. is like, no. I forgot what they call it, fair usage or something. They got some name for it, but they go through it because it's a commerce thing. It's a commerce zone. So anyway, we fly. We send one of our carriers out there, one of the big new ones, along with its little baby fleet that follows it around. It's a little thing that keeps it safe. And wasn't 46 hours into the trip, they spotted a Chinese submarine. Underwater, no less, they spotted this bastard. So then they started pinging. So I guess we had submarines there as well, so they must have warned them ahead of time. So they started doing these loud pings. Ping people when they make a really loud noise underwater. Well, for when you're talking about submarines, that's not exactly a good thing, because its sonar can actually be screwed up by that sometimes. Or it blinds you to anything coming at your way, because all you get is this big ping, and it kind of resonates through your system. Well, no, the new system's supposed to take it out, but they don't always take it out. But anyway, they're following, and so they're following. They come up to paracoup death. The captain on the aircraft carrier sends out a general message on a Russian frequency saying, "Hey, we've been knowing you've been there for about a day. We just wanted to say hi and just let you know there are 2 Virginia class," or he called them Wolfpack, submarines been following you around. So now this guy who thought he was being sneaky and sneaking up on one of the biggest carriers in the fleet found out that not only was he being followed, but he'd been being followed for almost 2 days since they entered the strait and could have been sunk at any time. It's going to just irritate the Chinese. So many times lately, our submarines are just like, and where have you been? You think you know where we are? And then China did that big thing in Hong Kong Harbor because they want to try this experiment to keep our subs from going in and out, right? They put all kind of electronic surveillance, all kind of equipment. Subs went in, drove around for a day, came out, and as it's going out, it put its periscope up to let them know it had been there, just to set the system off as it was going. Kind of gotta grab yourself. And then both Reagan and Trump both parked nuclear carriers off their coast within 300 miles of their coast with nuclear weapons on board, and they didn't even know they were there. Which means by the time they even knew they were there, those missiles would have been launched and on their way. 6 minutes after that, wherever their targets were, would have been gone. Well, Jeffrey, not all missiles have to be intercontinental ballistic. In other words, they don't have to go into space. So some of our cruise missiles can carry nuclear tip warheads. So when we're talking about ships,
they barely go above the tree line. Some of them.
Yeah, you're not gonna get them on radar, and you're not gonna put them on heat sink. You get these weird muzzles on them. But the thing of it is that once they launch, if something doesn't pick them up, you're dead. I mean, it's going to kill you. Now, granted, they probably got no more than 5 kiloton, or maybe 10. But
enough to take out a city, though, for sure.
Well, enough to contaminate a city, for sure. So put this in perspective, people. If y'all want to know what the kilotonnage would be to flatten New York, would be about 180 million kilotons. It's outrageous. It's because the blast radius of I think it's a 25 kiloton is 5 miles. Now that's deceptive because the blast radius is 5 miles. So what that means is, with the exception of one little small thing underneath the middle of the blast, everything else is flattened. No. I mean flattened, people. There ain't no little
incinerated.
Pieces. Yeah, there's no little pieces laying around or nothing. There's no bones. It's just
ash.
So, and then now the next 5 miles after that, you're going to see extreme damage to buildings, people burning, extreme radiation. Another 5 miles after that, you'll still have a severe amount of radiation poisoning. Now, you're pretty good after that point, unless there's a wind driving, and whoever's on the other end of that wind, of course, is also going to get contaminated. So if you live out on the East Coast, it's going to be driving across the ocean. Well, too, guess where? China.
So, shit. And any fires that are going to go in that same direction as well. But the heat, but the part about the the zeros, where it explodes, there will be no debris. No. We're talking temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun, so any buildings directly underneath will remain standing because the blast goes over them. But anything in the radius going out will be knocked over and instantly turned to ash. I mean, if you've seen the videos of the Trinity tests, they actually built buildings and houses, and they built whole neighborhoods of real full houses.
Oh yeah,
and then blew them up, and you can see when the heat wave comes by, it just turns them into powder.
They had people standing out there with the density of our body and stuff. It was they had them inside the house. They were just regular mannequins, but they weren't like plastic mannequins. There was something else they were using, something denser. But regardless, it was wiping them out. Now, when we got a little bit further than the nukes do a wash now. So in the old days, it would actually be something like, if you go look at Hiroshima, Nagasaki, I think it's Nagasaki, you'll notice there's a building right there where the blast is. Now the way that we have it now, it blows out like that and leaves it, but then it washes back in when it sucks up, so it takes them down as well. But it used to not do that. It was a different, it was an atom bomb. It's just, anyway, it's a different type of
when we
explosion.
get to the hydrogen level, the hydrogen level destroys it basically makes a pocket vacuum. So once that energy dissipates, the regular atmosphere sucks back in, so it does like a backdraft thing and sucks back up where the explosion was, and it will destroy anything backwards in that path.
But why do you think we have so many nuclear weapons? Because it takes a lot of them to take the world out. At one time, we had 11 or 12,000. Russia had 15,000. Between us, there was 27,000. There was other countries. It was somewhere over 35,000 nuclear weapons. And you know what? That would have only been enough to take out the upper part of the world. The bottom part would have been okay. The planet's bigger than y'all think it is. And explosions, it's the radiation that's going to kill you. And one of the things that's going to save the people down under is the trade winds doing this number. One trade wind pushing this way, one trade wind pushing it creates a barrier. Matter of fact, you can see it for yourself. If you ever go to the equator, you can actually experience it for yourself. Yes, but go see. You'll never know. But now getting back to Trump. Trump is a slick bastard.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the other night. I'm watching the Davos speech, and he's talking. I keep wanting to say Devo, like the rock group Devo, and it's the city where they were, goofball.
Davos.
Yeah, it's Davos. Jay said it perfectly, but I keep wanting to call it Devo because I can still see these guys with them weird cones. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, it looks like Devo. Yeah, I agree.
It does. It's but anyways, I'm listening to the whole speech and I'm thinking, and I'm looking at the room, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I see these three girls these little reporters that are working for Euro News outside on the side listening, and I see all three of them just kind of go. And I was like, what the fuck was that about? The whole room side. When Trump said he wasn't going to use force and he was going about this another way, Europe was shitting their pants, guys. What? Okay, now Europe cannot have thought for real.
8 countries sent troops.
But this tells you what liberals really are. So any self-respecting conservative country would have known we're not going to go attack Greenland. Even Denmark had to know it. But if you're crazy liberal, you were like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, well, they're coming for us.
8 crazy liberal leaders sent troops from Europe to Greenland.
Boy, he's fighting
from us.
He's fighting hard with the Brits too. He pretty much, well, he told Canada to go fuck themselves. Sorry, Canadians, but he told y'all again to go fuck yourselves. He even told your little leader he couldn't come to the new convention. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, he also snubbed Governor Newsom by making him sit in the back.
Couldn't speak and stuff. Well, everybody was glad because nobody wanted to hear Newsom. A couple of the leaders that were there, like, well, what is he doing here?
Yeah, what does he have to? I mean,
he don't even represent California anymore. I mean, his time is over.
Yeah.
The end of this year, Newsom Gruesom's gone, baby. He ain't representing nobody. He's too busy out chasing Trump's ass. But anyway, so the reason I wrote on the thing, you've got Greenland, Cuba, Venezuela. Is this going to be the new terror? Is this how we're going to start this out? If all 3 of these become territories, then we're going to go after Cuba. And I think we're going to go after Venezuela. And Greenland seems like we're already going to get it. So if he turns them in 3
it seems like we also already got Venezuela too.
That's what I'm saying. So if he starts making these 3 territories, first off, the size of our country grows.
Cuba.
We're taking Cuba. That's a given. Because Raul's granddaughter, or actually she's Castro's granddaughter, Raul's the brother of Castro who's running the country. She said when Raul dies, she's requesting to become part of the United States. So they've been wanting to become. They're in. Think about it. They're in between Puerto Rico and us. They're inside of our waters.
They're 90 miles off the coast of Florida.
Actually, from the Florida Keys, if you're at the bottom of the Keys, they're about 65 miles.
Like 60 miles, yeah.
Close enough that people swim from there and survive, people. Yes.
Well, not without a shark cage around them, but yes, it can.
No. People fled Cuba and went there and swam.
Oh, very, very lucky people, yeah.
They had floaties on stuff, like they would have 5-gallon cans and stuff underneath them. It was crazy. And then our Coast Guard started patrolling through the strait on a regular basis just for that reason. Well, you don't know how many got ate. Jay's right. There's a lot of sharks there. You don't know how many people got eaten by sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Sharks probably kept coming. You say, God damn,
it's a veritable smorgasbord, of course.
Yeah. We're going somewhere else.
Hey, the new smorgasbord open. Let's go over there. Okay, boom.
Yeah, they just got tired of hanging out. But regardless, so now you've got a straight line down to South America. You've got Florida going down, connecting to Cuba connecting to Puerto Rico connecting to Venezuela. Venezuela's connected to Colombia. Is going to probably be the next one we go after if they don't get their shit together.
Didn't the president of Colombia virtually say we were at a de facto state of war with him anyway after what we did?
Yeah, he better be careful.
So fuck them.
What do you mean? What did I mean by the new terror? Well, okay, Lancy.
TERRA.
So yeah, I did shorten it when I went TARA, but
you spelled it wrong, so I fixed it for you.
Yes, but on the thing I didn't have enough things left. That's why I got shortened. No, man, I'll give you 100 characters, dude. I'm telling you what, they bite. So I knew everybody would know what it meant. But so the reason I wrote that is because there has to be somebody has to start the new world. Somebody has to. Columbus started the last new world. Somebody's got to start the new world.
It's not necessarily we need to start. We need to get everybody on the same page and thinking in the same way. And I don't think we can do that with religion, but one factor has to be taken out. I mean, we become a completely religious, holistic, spiritual world where there's many religions, or we become a world where a religion is your thing, keep it out of the public limelight, and we go under one type of government type rule.
Oh shit! I didn't see Mark or Dolly in there. I don't know where I was.
Yeah, anyway, Mark said, "Hey, happy birthday!" You did. I threw it up early on.
No, hey Mark, thanks, babe. No, I was I wasn't on this page. I was on a different page.
Oh, yeah.
It's so I don't always see. That's why I came back because I seen something, that little red dot or something. John, I mean, right now we're in a shithole of a position. Trump is the most powerful person on the planet, probably the most powerful person on the planet since I don't know who. He doesn't take any shit. He scares me sometimes. I mean, he doesn't take any shit.
He had Europe scared.
I mean, I didn't until I watched this other day. I didn't realize how bad Europe was scared, and then he jumps on the Brits about, oh, you didn't really do anything in the Middle Eastern wars. Well, the Brits did lose 400 people, okay, but I understand what Trump meant. We lost 6,000.
Yeah.
And we spent far more money and put far more weapons in. So, okay, Brits, you lost 400, but do it this way. For every one you lost, we lost what, 10, 12? And let's think for every tank you lost or every piece of equipment you lost or every ounce of fuel that was used, most of it came from us.
Yeah, the Land-Lease program, most of their equipment after 42 was mostly ours.
If we can't be honest about this, then maybe we should dissolve NATO and let you find out for yourself. Because in the end, who was it the other day? One of the world leaders was asked, one of the European world leaders was asked, well, could we fight against America? And the head of the EU and the guy from NATO fucking started laughing.
Yeah.
Meaning not a fucking chance. I mean, the head of the NATO like to pee himself. He's laughing so hard.
Look at a map. Get a globe out if you can, people. Look at Europe compared to America. It's like the size of New England.
But it's not even that. I mean, and they got more people than we do. They got 450 million people, but
yeah,
you haven't been in real war since World War II, and you have no military. You rely on our military. Think about it. The majority of big bases
back fat on the hog because of us.
Think about this. This goes for Canada too. The majority of the big bases in your countries or in your places are ours. So what does that allow Germany to do? So Germany don't have to defend itself. We are. So that means they can spend money.
They don't have to spend the money on an army. They can do it so they can put it somewhere
figure
else.
This one
on
out.
A space plane.
Like on a space plane. Yeah. But how can we be spending all this money and still have better healthcare than them fuckers do? Man, I got a lot of British friends, a lot of Canadian friends, and ooh, man, y'all's healthcare sucks. I mean, it sucks.
It's because they use a backwards thinking West world socialized healthcare system where everybody gets the same. Like if you look at people who lived in Europe and England in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they all had the same eyeglass rims, the exact same eyeglass rim.
Oh yeah,
everybody got the exact same thing. Period. You might get different lenses because everyone has different prescriptions for their eyeballs, but they all got the same frame.
Well, they got these two Brits that have been coming to the U.S. from England for a while now, and they do comparison. What's the difference between? He said, it's funny because they just now realized how big the United States is. He said because when they were here, one of the questions they asked is how come Americans have fewer passports than any other country. And he said, I didn't understand at first. He said, but now I've been in the country. You don't have to go anywhere. Why would you fucking want to go anywhere else? He said, have you seen America? It's huge. It's beautiful. It has everything you fucking want. Why would you want to go anywhere? Now, this is a Brit saying this, and he's traveling with another Brit, and they got the two Spanish guys, the two Italian guys traveling with him, and they're like, Jesus. And they finally got the experience driving across Texas. That was so fucking funny.
Oh,
that was
Texas is horrible. But
he's like the guys like Texas is the EU.
If you look at the way any American looks at Europe, we only want to go to Europe because of family ties, to literally to bring up the past. No other reason. That's the only reason why I want to go. I want to go to Italy because I have family from Italy there. I'd like to check that out. I have family in Ireland. One of my cousins lives in London. So, those are places I would go and visit. But I think most Americans, when they look at going to Europe, it's like looking in the past. That's all it is. It's like a history.
But anyway, getting back to these Brits. So he got hurt the other day. He got some rib meat separated on his ribs. This guy from England. Oh. He's so they're traveling England, and they were surprised first off how nice Americans were. Somebody set up a GoFundMe page, was sending them money right off the bat, and they both were like, no. We have travel insurance. You don't have to do that. So they're making their money. They've got a good blog page, got a good YouTube page, and all. They're making decent money. And he said, I'm confused. He said, I walked in, and the lady walked up to me and did all this stuff and said, okay. And then they brought me in and had this X-ray done and that X-ray done, and this other stuff done. He said, I was in and out of the hospital in an hour and a half. They said, now go home. We're going to give you some pain meds, and you're going to see the doctor tomorrow, see exactly what you have to have fixed.
In an American ER, he was in and out in an hour and a half?
Oh, yeah. Down here, it's all the time. I've never stayed in the ER more than 2 hours. I don't know where y'all going. I mean,
my hospital, I'm in there, especially for my kidney stones, I'm in there minimum 2 hours.
Well,
they're that busy.
So, Southern ERs do it a couple of ways. First off, you have the normal emergency room, but they also have a room inside the emergency room that takes non-emergencies. Like broken hands, broken arms, other things like that, weird stuff, arthritis, pain, anything that's not considered a real emergency, they handle. So you don't have to wait to get into the ER. You go there, you go sit down, and a half hour later, doctor comes out or nurse comes out, asks you what's wrong. You tell them this stuff. They say, okay, come in here. And they wait for the doctor. Doctor comes in and, tells you what's going on. Oh, let me fix your rib. Let me do this. We'll do that. And bam, you're on your way out.
Not in my hospital. They're first of all, they're redoing the ER. So it's construction war zone. But even before that, there's such a huge meth problem. Even going late at night, like I've gone at like midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning. There's 5 people in the ER. I'm sitting there for an hour and a half, 2 hours before I get to even see a doctor. Sometimes that's how busy they get. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they only run the special clinics, I think, between like 9 in the morning and like 3 or 4 in the afternoons.
Oh, I'm sure they do that there too. But I mean, they get so much of an influx of just indigent people all the time. I mean, every time I go,
that's another thing down here. See, that's another thing down here. They have actually clinics for those, and they'll send them to them. They're like, no, you can't. If this is what you're here for, there's another place that you can go for that. You can't do it here, and they'll send them. They consider them a threat in the hospitals. But New Orleans has established this monster hospital industry now. They've got. They got LSU. They have 4 training hospitals in the city itself.
Wow.
So you mean where you used to have to wait 4 or 5 hours to get help, now it's less than 30 minutes. And if you go to university, which used to be, I'm not kidding you, like what you were just saying, university could be 6 or 8 hour wait if it wasn't something serious. And they fixed that in less than an hour. But what I used to do is I'd just go out in the suburb and go to the hospital. In the suburbs, never an hour, man. You're lucky if it even takes an hour to see the doctor. They're like, bam, bam, get out of here. And, the city's different. The city's way busier, but the suburbs, it's not even that they're not less busy. They're just better organized, better staff. Better multitaskers. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's definitely different. It's what's that, Jimmy Lee? Well, nobody wants to go to a fucking hospital. It's probably what I have to go to see the damn foot. Well, because that's the thing. I said I can go see the doctor, and I can go see the other thing, and then he'll send me to the foot doc, and then he'll send me to go get an X-ray, and it'll take him 2 days doing it that way. If I go to ER, it'll cost me $500 or $600, but they'll do it all right then and there. Yeah, it'll be over with. It's a bitch. I don't know. I've had to see a lot of doctors. I've had lots of X-rays over the years, MRIs and shit. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with her. I'll find out when I go in and get it looked at. But getting back to Greenland and Cuba and what state are you talking about? What's the state? What do you mean it can't vote in president? If it can't vote in presidential election, it's not a state, it's a territory.
Yeah, that would be Puerto Rico, Guam. You can accept. DC doesn't qualify because it's a district, not a territory.
And DC shouldn't qualify either, but
it does.
I know it shouldn't now. But they got 3 now. It used to have 1 electoral vote. I think it's got 3 now.
5
for DC.
5 for DC.
We're getting cheated. Somebody needs to go after that.
I don't even see. I mean, no more than 4. And even they didn't need that many.
No, it goes by population. The population's not that big there.
Yes, I agree. It does, but there's only 4 areas of there's the southeast, northeast, southwest, and northwest. 4 spots. Why do they have 5 dudes? I don't know.
They shouldn't even have that. It goes right. Their population is not large enough
for the whole territory.
I mean, last I had heard, their population wasn't large enough for 2. Somebody needs to challenge
not. Yeah, I mean, hey Google, what is the population of Washington D.C.?
6 million or something, 5 million.
Washington D.C. in 2026 is 702,250.
Hey, look at the little tiny
702,000 people.
No, they can't have more than one or two. Somebody, if it does, somebody needs to sue them.
One dude.
I mean, California's got 50.
New York City has one dude.
No, New York's
got 9 million freaking people there.
No, but they do it. They do it by the state in New York. That's how you get your electoral votes, is by the state. It's so I mean, if you're going to do one city and give them that stats, that's fucked up. They'll have to fix that. I bet you Trump will get to it. Watch and see.
That might be part of how the Democrats are maintaining control, was they're overloading, Congress with Democratic seats.
That's kind of backfire on their face this time. Even though Gruesome Newsom got his 5 seats in Cali passed and got it through the court, the Supreme Court says we're just waiting to see it now, so he knows it's going away to Dodoberry. I think the Republicans are going to try to add about 15 seats. Yeah, 15 or 16 seats. Population's growing. Well, think about this. I mean, Barack Obama, how many? 8 million, 5 million? He put a lot of people out of the country. Far more than Trump's even gotten close to.
Yeah. Well, he had 8 straight years, uninterrupted years, and he had continuous operations without interference.
Yeah, and he was the one who, built all the cages. Yeah, they used to try to jump on Trump. That was when AOC first got in. Oh, look, I'm standing in a parking lot with all these killed children. Well, first off, she wasn't even in the parking lot. She was somewhere else. Secondly, when she was told that, oh, no, Barack Obama instituted splitting up families, she was like, what?
Yeah. Hello.
Actually, the last 3 presidents were big on throwing people out the country. No, I'm sorry, with the exception of Joe Biden. So, they're
throwing the soundbite. I think it was from 1993. Bill Clinton saying, if you got here illegally, you need to get out of the country.
You need to get out of the country. Hillary Clinton said it too when she was running in 2016.
Yeah, there's that soundbite too. Yeah.
So what happened? How did Joe Biden decide to let in 11 million illegals?
He just said it. He said, what was it? He said something like, come on over, or something like that.
No, but I mean, what was it? This is an anti-party thing. His whole party for the presidents before that were trying to throw him out.
Well, I know. That's where there's some sort of paradigm shift we missed. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking it's one person who said, okay, let me get as much of my illegal friends in the country as I can. I'd like to know. That has to be a staff decision. Somebody in the staff.
But still, there was a paradigm shift within the Democratic Party that we must have missed, where they all flipped how they're thinking. I don't know. I don't know what
the party still ain't. The party still. That's AOC, and who maybe Bernie. Even Bernie Sanders isn't. Bernie Sanders is glad they're being tossed out. I was listening to him on CNN just yesterday. So you only got like. He was glad to see him getting thrown out the country and the border getting under control. And that's Bernie Sanders, Mr. Liberal.
Well, I hadn't heard him say that. Yeah.
I like to call him Mr. Magoo. And he's not the only one. I mean, look at Bill Maher. Bill Maher's like, get out the fucking country. Lock up the borders. You also got Fetterman out there saying the thing. Look, what's up, man? No, lock up the borders. Shit, Fetterman came out and said, not only did Trump get the borders under control, he said, I listened to Congress for 4 years talking about, before I was a senator, saying, oh, we're going to have to get this in Congress, and we're going to have all kinds of bills and laws to get this straightened under control. And he said, here comes Donald Trump in 90 days, fucking borders closed.
Yeah.
He said, do you understand how bad that makes us look as a party? And he said, don't think they're not going to be using that in 2026. They're not talking about it right now because we're still too far from the election. He said, but 2026, when it gets close, they're going to be talking about all these things Trump's got done. And what you're going to say, oh, we dyed our hair blue and went and screamed at ICE? Give me a fucking break. And now the media is in trouble over ICE. So NBC, ABC, and CBS was just investigated by an independent agency, and they give ICE 93% bad press. 93%. You can't say, hey, this ain't done nothing good, because they've done a lot of good stuff. So, but 93% of all the press that ABC, NBC, and CBS puts out about ICE is negative. So the government's going after them.
I'm glad to see there's some repercussions coming from this, because we're starting to see it now. Today, the ICE went and tried to attempt to arrest an illegal who was with his 5-year-old son. When ICE made themselves known that they were trying to arrest him, he bolted, left his kid in the middle of the city. It's like negative 20 degrees up there, whatever it is right now. They're in the middle of a snowstorm. Winter blizzard's coming through there. Bolts, abandons his kid. They arrest him. They have to take the kid. They can't leave the kid standing there in the middle of the city, so they have to detain the child as well. As soon as that happens, the Democratic representative for the state, pops up on local media and immediately says ICE abducted the child from his home, then went to the father's location in an attempt to draw the father out with the child as bait, and then they arrested him and the child. An absolute fabricated lie. So they're trying to get the really liberal left media trying to get these falsified stories out before the actual facts start to show up. Which sometimes
but the media's got to know better, because they're getting sued left and right. Trump. I mean, at the rate
I would not be surprised if this representative doesn't get her ass in serious.
Oh, she's going to get sued. Well, now they're saying if you're intentionally lying to cause trouble or slow down progress on ICE things, they're going to arrest you.
Oh, she's going. She's either getting arrested or she's getting injunctions against her.
I think you see, they arrested Don Lemon the other day for going in that church.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, that's what they said when I read it this morning. They said they arrested him.
No, they didn't. They didn't get him. They the judge, a left-leaning liberal Democratic judge, got those warrants for that guy, particularly in like 16 others, and quashed them. He was not arrested.
But I think they brought it to a different judge.
Maybe so. I hadn't heard about that, but the first one, they zapped 16 warrants for the people who were illegally, against the Constitution, illegally demonstrating inside of a church during church services. That's a felony, people.
They said,
hey, Eugenio.
Yeah, he told Don Lemon, he said, it remains to find. I told Trump to turn me into the next Jimmy Kimmel. Why? Jimmy Kimmel losing his job, man. What are you talking about? Yeah, Don, you done, baby. You're over with. You're so desperate, Jed, to go in and disrupt the church.
Yeah, I mean, they showed video today. This guy's an idiot. There's video of him with the protesters before they go to the church on their way. And he knows they're going to the church. They're all going to the church, and he knows that. And later on, he said, in the first interview, he said, "Oh, I didn't know where we were going." Well, it's a bullshit lie. He knew where they were going. But this video shows him hanging out with the protesters prior to the exact event of the church. He's handing out bottles of water and tea and Coke and snacks and making jokes with them about they're going to go fuck with people. His goose is cooked. He has no credibility in the press.
So Pam said, so since the judge went the way he does, she's ordering an investigation into the judge as well, because these people are obviously guilty. And
no question.
And she's actually
they're on video in a child's face, screaming at an 8-year-old while she's crying.
Yeah, she said she's
it's not a peaceful protest, people.
Yeah, she said she's launching an investigation into it herself. She says, Mr. Lemon, you don't have to worry about Mr. Trump. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Ooh, big boy, you may have fucked up. Bondi don't let nobody get hurt her boss, man. You bet. Just be glad her name isn't Hillary, because she'd be found floating in a river somewhere.
Oh, he wouldn't survive his court date.
Jack, I did. Okay. I haven't read it today, but last I heard, they were working on some deal for them to come in and testify.
To the Clintons?
Yeah, the Clintons.
Well, they're under contempt if they don't. They've already filed for it.
Yeah, I think they've already filed, but
yeah.
But there's some deal they're working on to get him in.
Why isn't he going in? Because he doesn't want to fucking incriminate himself or anyone else?
I think she's more worried than he is.
She's the one who's the most criminal in that family. Sure.
Well,
how would she be the most worried?
Somebody sent me, I think I have to go find it. Amelia sent me something about Benghazi. Well, Benghazi's still open. It doesn't have a statute of limitations on it.
Yeah.
But anything that makes you look like a traitor or a law of treason doesn't have a statute of limitations, Gene. Yeah. Murder doesn't. Murder used to, but murder doesn't anymore. It doesn't have statute.
Capital murder doesn't. Like paying capital murder, like
yeah.
you paying a murder out, that there's no statutes on that. But if you just go out one day and decide, take your gun and kill somebody and just keep on about your day, there's a probably I think a 15-year statute on that one.
Oh, Gene, there's so much of this stuff now. Oh, all the child crimes now don't have any statute. They used to, but they don't anymore. It doesn't matter what it is now. Yeah, they don't put statute of limitations on it.
I think one of the few ones is rape. It doesn't have statutes.
Yeah, that falls under a different category for some reason.
It's sexual battery.
Yeah. There's actually a site that shows you all of them. Yeah, you can go read them for yourself. They even keep pretty up to date. Minneapolis needs to get its shit together. They're going to keep it up until either Tim or Trump sends the National Guard out there.
Well, I have a feeling that Tim Waltz and what's the mayor's name, Fleer, whatever.
Yeah.
I think the two of them, they might get arrested before the troops actually come in. They might actually come down on charges.
Because you can't. Okay, Janine, they can be arrested for several reasons, but you can't directly interfere with a federal agency when it's in the middle of an arrest.
Nor egg on your constituents to do said activity.
Yeah, as a politician, you can't sit out there and tell them, "Oh, go drive and park in front of them and do things like that." See that's what got that woman
Waltz used.
That's what got that woman Renee killed. She went to one of those classes online or went to one of the ones where they get together and they show you how to resist ICE peacefully. Well, you don't run over the cop. That's not peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen every tape from every direction. There's no way you can go say she didn't run over the cop. And the worst part for her was there's one when she's looking straight forward and you can see she pushes the gas because the car starts lunging forward and she's smiling. Yeah, jury wouldn't find her innocent any way you went. No, indeed not. Plus, he had internal bleeding. The guy says it was like bruising. Well, bruising, by the way, is internal bleeding, dumbass. Yeah. It's what bruising is, yes.
And the officer, God bless him, moments after that happened, he disappeared. Bongino scoured him away. The next day, the very next day, like 6 a.m., that man's house was packed up, gutted, and taken somewhere else by his co-workers. That they were so afraid that America is going to come after this man and kill him for what he did. He's also quit the department and is under witness protection because this was the second time he was injured by an idiot with a car.
Oh, what do you mean, Stephen? So, what do you mean? Why doesn't Minnesota get to investigate? Because it's not their jurisdiction. It's not. It's a federal crime. It was committed by a federal employee on a federal deployment. Yeah, it all belongs to the Fed. And I've heard the FBI guy and Pam Bondi say that tapes pretty much are open and shut. They don't have to take it to trial if they don't want to. And they don't see any reason to right now. Let me tell you what, just because a bunch of people are outside jumping up and down doesn't mean somebody's guilty.
I will say this. If this thing were to go to any court, if she survived the wreck, if she hadn't died from the bullets, she would be being indicted probably about now.
Oh, yeah, she'd be in jail no matter what because she hit a cop.
Well, no, she probably would be in the hospital, but she would be under indictment. And as soon as she was out of the hospital, they would put her in a grand jury. And then as soon as the grand jury said, yeah, string her up, she'd go to court and probably lose.
John, but they haven't learned anything. They've just gotten worse.
It's gotten worse. It's getting worse.
It's because of the media. Go watch the media. I have not heard one media person, not one, on any ABC, NBC, or any affiliates talk about, because there's 5 views of this what happened. four of them clearly show her running the guy over, and the other one tries to make it look like she's turning. That's after she was shot. So get your facts straight. Her hand pulled down on the wheel. So that's not even a legit thing. People are running around screaming. And in a court of law, that would get tossed. So what bothers me is they're not even trying to be honest about it. This woman tried to mow the guy over. And it's worse than that, though, because there's laws about tagging people on or not trying to help. Well, her girlfriend egged her on.
Yeah. Drive, baby, drive, or go, baby, go, whatever it was she said.
Yeah, she was.
In other words, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Well, she tried to get in the car with her, but the doors were locked.
A couple more points about this. All right, so most police departments have this policy, and this is particularly the one for ICE, which these officers are. Their standing orders are, if a vehicle marks a threat, even if you can get out of its way, but it marks an immediate threat to life, you can fire on it. That's why he fired. Because if she was driving out of control, first of all, she could have ran over him. She could have run over bystanders and other protesters in the street behind them who were yelling and screaming. If you notice, there's one person who runs across the road just before she runs over the officer. If he hadn't run through, he probably would have been hit, because she went right through where he was standing and hit the truck. So they have that in their war book. They can shoot you and your car if you drive towards them in a menacing manner. Yeah, that's what she did. Number two, they're there for one reason. They think these officers are working illegally. They're coming up and abducting people without warrants, without due process, and yada, 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 which is completely 100% also false. They have warrants. They have lists of people they want to pick up. They know their pictures. They have their rap sheets. They know where they're last been seen, where they're living. So they're going into these places to find these people. This isn't random, like, oh, grab him, he looks familiar. No, they have a plan, okay? They were going after someone specific, right? So, but even if you think that police officer is doing his job illegally, as a U.S. citizen, you do not have the right to stop that police officer. Period. You're committing a felony.
Yeah, you're impeding
an investigation. They can do this. You can't do that. What you're doing is illegal. You can't stop in the middle of the street and block it. Today, the entire city of Minneapolis was shut down. All the schools were shut down. Businesses were encouraging their employees to stay home. There were people wall to wall across a 4-lane road, 2 lanes both ways, wall to wall, just marching and walking in an ambulatory circle, cutting off the entire city. That is not a peaceful protest. That is a riot. That is National Guard.
I want to know why liberals are such followers.
Huh?
Liberals always talk about how they're free and they don't follow, but liberals seem to follow blindly.
They pretty much. They were just walking like they were walking through the nave of a big giant church. They're just walking in an ambulatory circle around this one, square block.
It's
why? Why are you shutting down your city for something stupid? They're taking vile criminals off of your streets. Why are you doing this? You're stupid. I will never go to visit Minneapolis. What a nasty place.
It is kind of these days. It used to not be like that, but that's on the citizens for letting all those people in their state.
Well, or the governor at least, and the governor. But this seems
they're the ones that put that idiot in charge.
That's like I said. A lot of them are backing it up. Yeah.
Lefties losing and CNN apologizing to Trump. Yeah, there's been a few of those. Jack, no, we're going to go to break. We got a lot of stuff to go through. I mean, we're just really kind of getting into Venezuela. Venezuela's going to bring. Okay, real quick before we go to break.
A lot of oil.
Just the day after we took Venezuela, in 4 states, oil dropped below $2 a barrel. $2 a gallon. As of yesterday, there are 5 states in the union that have gas below $1.80. I checked mine today; it was $1.78.
Yeah, I think we're 209 now. Let me double check that.
It's dropping. It's dropping fast. Well, South's going to always be cheaper because oil's produced down here, and also in the heartland.
Oh no, we're still at 299.
Yeah. No, I thought Colorado was in the championship. Yeah, Seattle. Oh no, it's Seattle and the Rams, and yeah, Colorado and New England, right? I thought that
I
was
don't
the
know. Hey Google, who's
championship
in the
game.
Super Bowl?
It's not Super Bowl. Yes, it's championship games. NFC and AFC championship games.
These championship games will determine who plays. The NFC championship.
Hey Google, stop.
Jeez, I want to tell you, man. Don't tell me
Yeah, we still
stop.
have two more.
Yeah,
There's 2 more games to go. Oh, yeah, we got a while to go before.
so no, you got no. This is it. After this game, it's the Super Bowl. This is
Yeah.
look, you got to play this game. Well, these 2 games, and then well, there's 2 games, meaning there's AFC and NFC doofus.
Yeah, there's 4 teams, 2 from each division. One from each will go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And the losers will go home.
I'm probably not going to watch any of them. I don't really like any of the teams that are involved, so no, I'm just not a big fan. What do you mean? You think New England's going to pull a miracle and win again? Well, they've always said whatever owner puts out the most money gets the most Super Bowls, and Croft's got what, 10? He's been 10 times, I think. If he goes, this will be 11. Croft's got a lot of money. Yes, a lot of money. But anyway, on that note, we're going to go to break right quick, so y'all just hang out. We'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes. We got some stuff we got to get played off too. I got to go check and see which ones we're going to play. And then we just got a lot of links to go through. And then, let's not forget Lizinski and Putin and Trump are together. Where? Is it Qatar? Where the hell are they? Somewhere in the Middle East trying to make peace.
Really?
Yes, that's what they're doing.
Peace with each other, peace with somebody else.
No, peace with each other. They're trying to be lovers. They're saying right now, all 3 have said the same thing. The only problem is what territories. That's what the problem is. Everything else they've worked out. Yeah, Bruce, the territory thing's a big thing, my friend. Let's just be honest about it. Anyway,
particularly because Zelensky wants that all of it back, Crimea, everything. Yeah. So
we'll talk about it when we come back, but I think they should give it all back and then lease it out to Russia.
Yeah,
give it to Russia for free. Actually, I would just say, look, Russia, I'll give you Donbass and them. You can use it, and we won't even charge you for it. Just don't attack us anymore. But it's still going to belong to Ukraine after
Well, it wouldn't be just that. It'd have to be part of the protection too. A, you don't attack us, and B, if we get attacked, you help.
And then Lizinski got all nervous because the United States and Europe were getting into it, and he said this, well, I can't trust Europe to protect us. They didn't last time.
Yeah, and they'd have no reason to. I mean,
well, no, they did. Well, no, they did. They had a fucking treaty. So when the Ukraine agreed to give back its nuclear weapons to Russia, there was a treaty signed saying that the European countries would defend the Ukraine against Russia.
Oh yeah, okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they just kind of told me, well, fuck you. We don't care. We're not going to defend you. So the Ukraine.
Did they actually put that in a treaty?
Yeah, it was a treaty.
Oh wow, okay, Jesus.
Yeah, because they weren't going to give the nukes back otherwise.
Yeah.
Why would you want to give nukes back? Remember, the Ukraine had a lot of nukes, people.
It was one of their major depositories, really.
Yeah, so they had a lot of nukes.
Georgia had the most, but Ukraine had a good bit.
But the United States and other countries were scared they would start selling these pocket nukes off.
Yeah, or losing them.
Yeah.
Oops.
So they said Russia had the only ones that had real control, and they wanted them to give them to them. And then there was a deal struck. And then here we are, no deal. And it's even been brought up, the head of the EU even brought it up, that said, I don't know why the countries voted against it. So it was even brought up and vetoed and to go help them when the war started. It's bullshit. Because the Europes don't have a military, they need to use our military.
We've been their military for the last 70 years.
They're just realizing, after Trump went and had a fit with them, they're just realizing that their military is our military. Hey, Heidi. Yeah, that's what they're realizing. With our military, they don't have a military. No, they don't. Anyway, we're going to play some quick music, and we'll be back in a few minutes. We've got a bunch of stuff to get into, so please stay in tune to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. Jay and I may come back and kick you. You never know. Regardless. Sorry, guys. Welcome back. I hope y'all were enjoying it. It's Maya Maria. by Brooks and Dunn. It's been around for a while. Y'all can check it out. I was looking on my Facebook page, and I forgot my birthday was the other day, so it's going to take me a little while to dig through the page. Which, by the way, everybody who wished me happy birthday, thank you very much. I appreciate the wishes. No, I was looking. Well, I was been posting articles there over the last couple of days, and people have been wishing me birthday, so it's moved them all around. So I got to go find them. Oh no, I really enjoy seeing everybody's names up there. Yeah, well, it's nice to see people who are wishing me happy birthday to actually know me. Well, a lot of times you get them, which is I appreciate when people just send them to you, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. What's that, Frank? I was abducted by aliens. And they did. They took me to the casino and gave me a magic coin, and I won $100,000. Yes, I know, huh? That was crazy. Well, I told him I'd sacrifice Jay to him. Yes, that's what I told him. I'd sacrifice Jay to him. No, but there is a lot of stuff. Let me see. Let me go see while I'm talking. Let's see. Anti-ICE Minnesota agitator arrested days after daring Bondi to do so. I mean, why do you want to piss off the DOJ of the country? I mean, really, it just seems stupid to me. And to my Canadian friends, sorry to hear about this guy. A Canadian Olympian turned alleged cocaine trafficker caught by the FBI in Mexico. I think it was yesterday. What can you do? No, I get a lot of stuff people send me. Some of it is just some of it is just stupid. Well, no, there's nothing wrong. I like people sending me stuff on all things. No, news, UFOs, paranormal. Yeah, I like all that kind of stuff. Well, no, we do hard news mainly on news on the flip side, but still, I enjoy all of that stuff. Oh, you're thinking about that's a different show. That's why. Yeah, it's not something we really talk about on Wednesday night, though. So now this Democrats are in trouble for Somali having all this fraud going on down there. So they got a bill in the Congress right now to get rid of oversight on nonprofits. So if your company's a nonprofit, they want to get rid of the oversight. Bullshit. I mean, look what's going on in Minnesota. No, what the hell? They just Democrats are evil. Y'all used to not be, but y'all have gotten evil. Elitist media hammer ICE. ABC, CBS, NBC, which Jay and I talked about a little while ago. 93% negative study finds after Renee Goodwin shooting. ABC, NBC, and CBS accused of overwhelmingly putting out anti-ICE segment. Hey Sam, what you up to? Hey, thanks for saying happy birthday, man. Just live on air. It's a grandkid. What's that cream? Oh, you didn't know I had grandkids? Yes. Oh, wait, this is the one Jay wanted to hear. Let me pause this for a minute. So let's see. Stephanie, you're thinking about oh, wait, we don't want that. That's music. Sorry, guys. Let's get rid of that. That's not what we were after. You mean the World WHO, the health organization? Well, so the WHO's got some good things, and they've got some anti things. So the problem is, how do you balance it out? Well, you can't really, because when liberals get control of anything, they just go overboard. Well, Republicans can be said that way. They go overboard the other way by taking all the money away and stopping the spending and going along those lines. Yeah. Let me see if this will play for us. Let me check where we are. Pop it up on the screen. So this is Bernie Sanders. Y'all all love y'all some Bernie Sanders. Let's see what he's got to say.
then you don't have a nation, right? Trump did a better job. I don't like Trump, you know. Biden didn't do it. Those before him did not do it.
But Trump did. Seems like Bernie's coming around.
You don't have any borders, then you don't have a nation, right? Trump did a better job. I don't like Trump, you know. But Biden didn't do it. Those before him did not do it.
But Trump did. Seems like Bernie's coming around.
You don't have any borders, then.
All right, we love you there. Wait, what is this one?
Yeah, that's precisely the kind of thing you don't see on the legacy media.
I never argue with stupid people. I just cut them off and tell them you're right. You're right.
That's completely ridiculous.
You're right.
Yeah, I love this guy. He's something else with
How are
this
you always
thing.
so calm?
Because I never argue with stupid people. I just cut them off.
He's well, no, Jack, I get these sent to me all day long.
Holy shit.
Oh wait, let's see what this guy's got to say here. Hold on, this don't look good. This might be good.
And Trump's a better president than Biden, but there will be signs. There'll be signs, subtle signs, but there'll be signs. Kind of like the Sheetz gas station on Van Dyke, south of 14 Mile Road. In
Holy
Warren,
shit,
Michigan.
149.
Yeah, you see that right, guys? $1.79.
Detroit. Who the
my
did y'all
president's
just kill, man?
I'm not saying Trump's a better president.
Oh man, in Detroit.
That's pretty good.
Oh wait, we gotta listen to the Chihuahua for a second. She's having an indigestion.
Cute. No. Ow.
Is that all right, we love you too, Chewie. We do give you some airtime. That's all. Oh, this is the Brits that you always hear me talking about. These guys are insane.
Right, I've been thinking about toughness, real toughness, and who's tougher, Americans or Brits? I get asked this question quite a lot. Now, having been on both sides of the pond quite often, I feel like I'm qualified to answer. Now, as Brits, we've survived lukewarm tap water, continuous drizzle, and the existential crisis of cancelled trains. But Americans, different species. These guys do rodeo. They will climb on a half-ton beef missile and just go, yep, this seems like a reasonable hobby, voluntarily, may I add. Now, in the UK, the closest we get to that is sitting on a wobbly bar stool after 3 pints. And that is dangerous enough, thank you. In the US, rodeo riders will get launched into orbit, land on their head, snap a rib, and the crowd will just shout, yeehaw, walk it off, Bill. Walk it off? I sprained my ankle once and the NHS gave me a leaflet, a sympathy nod, and told me to rest up for 6 weeks. And it's not just rodeos. Americans wrestle alligators. They swim in lakes filled with creatures specifically designed by nature to say, are you edible? Americans will hike in mountains with bears and lions, and basically it's Pokemon on hard mode. Meanwhile, in Britain, if we get 2 centimetres of snow, the country shuts down like it's hit Control-Alt-Delete. So far it's not looking good for the Brits. But we do have toughness. We can drink tea that's hotter than lava. We endure rain almost every day in nothing but a thin winter jacket. And dare I say, our sunburns alone could win awards. But overall, yeah, Americans are tougher. If you can ride a bull, get ragdolled into another dimension, get up and say, yep, I think I'll try that again.
Oh, hello, Joe.
Oh, you stop this guy.
Ooh, did you hit? Yeah, when you popped out, he popped out.
Yeah, he's it's him and another guy. It's one of his friends, and they're traveling. They got the governor of Louisiana gave him an official ambassadorship, helping bringing them down from Mardi Gras and stuff. And they've been all over the country. They're well liked, and they did it because he said one of them said, you know, they always hear these different things about America, like why Americans don't have near as many passports as people in Europe. Well, because in Europe, you know, you're going to different countries instead of different states. Here, there's 50 different states, but we don't have any borders. In Europe, unfortunately, you know, when you go from France to Italy, it's a new country. You go from Italy to England, that's a new country.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like that here. And he said, this one right here, he said, everything you could possibly want on the planet is in America. He said, I don't know what else you could be looking. He said, there's the Arctic, there's the swamp, there's the gators. He said, you just name it, it's here. He said, I don't even know why you'd want to go anywhere else. He said, both him and the other guy applied to go to work here, and they want to move here and live here permanently. They were just like, there just is no other place like this on the planet. And really and truly, he's right because it's everything in one. Joe, what do you mean Columbus knew what he saw when he saw it? What the fuck are you talking about? Wait a minute. Columbus, I'm not even going to try to repeat that statement now. Yeah, that sounded ignorant when it came out of my mouth. Oh, wait, no, here, I'll see if I got some more. Hold on. Well, I got to be careful. These aren't third parties. I don't want to get us in trouble and get us a strike.
Yeah, we get another strike on us.
The boss man would not be happy. Yes, or the boss lady, but she would still not be happy. Hold on. Dude, just shut up for a minute. Okay, sometimes these things want to overtalk you. Okay, here we go. This is what Jay and I were talking about Davos earlier. This is Governor Newsom. We all gotta love Governor Newsom. Okay. Well, we just got to show our respect. I'll be in Cali pretty soon. I don't want to get in no trouble out there.
Newsom flew to Davos to attack the president, but he got absolutely humiliated by everyone. He tried to shame them for working with Trump, but they shut him down and praised the president instead. Even the head of NATO admitted that Trump is right, leaving Newsom standing there completely alone. You need to see the look on his face. It is pure comedy. I pinned the video of him turning red in the comments section. Go watch it yourself. Newsom flew.
We all know y'all love y'all. Oh, wait, here we go. This is JD Vance today.
I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised by when the Democrats talk all the time about affordability. Democrats say, you know, things aren't affordable. This isn't affordable. This has gotten more expensive. Drugs have gotten more expensive. Housing's gotten more expensive. And you know what? They're right. And it was because of them. And I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised by when the Democrats talk all the time about affordability.
Yeah, somewhere there's a now this chick.
All of them are criminals. If you step foot into the United States without legal authorization, you are a criminal. I don't want to hear it. There was another person. There was another panelist. There's been another panelist on this show, and I just want to make it unequivocally clear. If you step foot into the United States without a proper visa, you are a criminal.
Yes.
Okay, so do not say, oh, these people, they didn't do anything wrong. No, you violated the sanctity of American law by coming to our country without our authorization. Americans, all of them are criminals. If you step foot into the United States without legal authorization, you are a criminal. I don't want to hear it. There was another person. There was another panelist. There's been another panelist on this show, and I just want to make it unequivocally clear. If you step foot into the
Damn it.
Sound like a gaggle of geese trying to argue over a piece of cheese. What the hell are they even saying? Can you make anything out?
Yeah, I know exactly what they're saying, but okay, she's talking about they were giving her shit because I think she was on ABC or NBC or somewhere like that, or CNN maybe. They were giving her shit because she said that if you come into this country illegally, you're here illegally, you broke the law, you need to be arrested and taken out.
Right.
And she was a hardcore Democrat, and they couldn't handle her doing that. Well, but, you know, and since then she's left and she's even told her clients, these big Democrat donors, she's not coming back to the Democrats. And she said, I will tell you why and why you should be voting for the Republicans. So not only did they lose a key figure in their organization, but one that has controls a lot of their money.
Yeah, wow. Well, I mean, we haven't said it. They've been shooting themselves in the foot. They've already lost.
Well, Alex Soros tried to come in.
Already lost, right? They lost them earlier in the
year.
Not
their biggest ones, but they lost a lot of big ones. Though. But Alex Soros tried to come out and talk shit about her, and she said, "Alex, I know a lot about your little girlfriend, Huma. You might want to go back inside."
Yeah,
and he ain't said nothing since.
Potomac two-step. Potomac two-step.
You know, obviously this chick is. No, the first time I ever heard her speak, she was like liberal. Like it was like a week before the elections. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit Trump in a butt, and we're gonna win with 10 points, and we're gonna shit, and we're gonna rock and roll, and I'm gonna have a good job down there. And of course, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
And she lost it after. I mean, wasn't even 3 days. She lost it. I mean, it was like the second day. She was on TV programs all over saying The Democrats should have never hit Joe Biden. They shouldn't have done this. Shouldn't have done. She mentioned all kind of shit they shouldn't have done. And then here comes Jean Louis what 2 weeks after that, saying basically the same shit, and then she puts out a book. You know, I mean, you just gotta wonder, what is this one? Okay.
If men crumble in society, everything crumbles. It all goes to shit, okay? Your security, your properties, your homes, your bridges, your roads, your plumbing, your construction, your gasoline that your car runs on, everything. So this bull crap about not needing men in general, whether it be a husband or a father, it's just crap. If men crumble in society, everything crumbles. It all goes to shit.
Was this chick on another one? Wait, I gotta see what you're saying here.
Empirically speaking, Obama deported so many more, 5.2 million, so many more immigrants, illegal aliens than did Trump. The only difference, though, is that Trump is deporting people from the homeland, from the inland of America, whereas most people that Obama deported were on the periphery of the United States. But either way, it doesn't matter. These Democrats, they don't actually intrinsically believe in anything. They do whatever is in their political interest. Empirically speaking, Obama deported so many more, 5.2 million, so many more immigrants, illegal aliens than did Trump. The only difference, though, is that Trump is deporting people from the homeland, from the.
She ain't putting out that bullshit. Wait, this chick is weird, man.
Adam Schiff, you ready for this?
Not only is this coming to light that he leaked classified data, that he colluded with the media to try to create a false narrative, he's also involved in a mortgage scam. So I think that the walls are closing in on Adam Schiff.
I'd say. Adam Schiff, you ready for this?
Not only is this coming to light that he leaked classified data, that he.
Yeah, we love him too.
I don't think he's the only one who's in jeopardy. I think Waltz and Lee are going to be facing.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
What do you call a group of trans females?
What?
X-Men.
If you enjoy our shit, smash that follow button, leave a comment, like, and share with open-minded
I'm
friends.
sorry, bad people.
What do you call a group of trans females?
No, don't watch that's bad stuff. Don't watch this bad people stuff. See, I tell you, I never was on these lists. That's why I'm always careful playing. Let's see what we got here.
Donald Trump delivered a speech today that we have simply never seen from an American president at an event like this. Donald Trump said everything that you would say if you were on that stage today. Donald Trump said what 77 million people elected him to say.
In recent decades, it became conventional wisdom in Washington and European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy was through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports. Countries could be propped up by importing new and entirely different populations from faraway lands. Instead of closing down energy plants, we're opening them up. Instead of building ineffective, money-losing windmills, we're taking them down and not approving any. Instead of empowering bureaucrats, we're firing them.
And while the president was saying all of that to a room full of people who desperately wish that Joe Biden was still president, don't forget about Gavin Newsom. All alone, standing in the back by the handicapped bathroom in the coat check. Gavin Newsom was there for all this.
Oh, shit,
it's also interesting that Greenland was the most important issue in a room full of European leaders. Greenland and not Ukraine. Again, Greenland, not Ukraine. Ukraine and a war that's been raging for the last 4 years, just a few hundred miles from where the president was speaking. A war that's already taken over 1 million lives. A war with a country that is now threatening.
Now you see, he's got a damn good point. Nobody wants to talk about it, but he's got a damn good point. Why wouldn't anybody talk about the Ukraine? Greenland, nobody could have possibly thought we were going to go nuke the Ukraine. I mean, come on, give me a break. No, Jack, we weren't going after Ukraine. That wasn't going to. It's just because it's not something. America's not that kind of country. Don't get me wrong. You piss us off, we will kick your ass, but not over that. And there was better ways of doing it. And the guy from NATO stepped up and is going to do it. Now the Brits all pissed because we were talking shit about him in the Middle East, and he was all like, "Well, Trump don't understand. We had people die. We had people maimed. We had people." Trump understands just fine. So do we, dumb fuck. He wants you to do more. I don't think these Europeans are actually understanding what's going on here. We want y'all to do what we do. We want you to have the same size military. We want you to spend. Think about this, people. We're going to spend $900 billion on defense this year. That's more money than the rest of the fucking planet combined putting on defense. Yes, and that's how much we're going to spend. And so we can do what? Defend ourselves? We got plenty enough to defend ourselves. We got fleets of F-35s. We got F-22s that would take on the whole entire fucking fleet of Europe, Russia, and fucking China. And then we got this plane called the X-47. I don't even think anybody wants to even talk about yet. It's so fucking scary. And God help you on what kind of drones us and Space Command been building. They said Space Command owns 100,000 drones. What the fuck they need that for? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And think about it. They're going to probably put them all in fucking Greenland. So they can just send them in the air. I don't know what they're doing. But to me, it looks like Trump is playing everybody hard. The Greenland thing, he said this, he said that, he said this, and he didn't have to go negotiate anymore. They're doing the negotiations now and bringing them.
Who they? The Union?
No, I guess it's Greenland, Denmark, and NATO. That's what it sounds like. They just pretty much told the Europeans to go fuck off. And the Europe, because Europe don't know what it's doing, Jack. I mean, they're in, I don't know where they're at right now. Europe, what happened is, for 80 years, Europe got spoiled. They're like the spoiled kid. We give them whatever they want. We help them with advanced technologies. We keep their areas safe. I mean, we don't allow Russia or China, anybody to come invade their little skanky asses. And Russia and China. And the only reason Russia and China doesn't invade the EU is because of us and our 3,000 nuclear, 5,000 nuclear weapons we own. That's the only reason. They're not scared. You don't ever think Russia is scared of you, Europe. And I hate to say it, I don't think China's scared of you anymore either. And y'all may be of the amount of defense, but with the little amount of tanks you own and planes you own and anything else you own is without the United States is ragtag bullshit. And again, like I said earlier, why do you think all the biggest bases in Europe are United States bases? Look, all I heard the man say that he wants y'all to pay your fair share at NATO, which is 5%. And he says as long as everybody's doing that, he has no problem being a part of NATO. And he would like Europe to start building their own defense and working on building their own technologies that maybe can benefit other countries on the planet. He put out a thing just yesterday. He wants Europe and a couple other countries to help him with the Golden Dome and be part of it so that we're all safe from Russia and China. So look, I mean, you know, at least he's fucking trying. I don't know, Jesse. Let's go see what this has to say.
And now for what I know you've all been waiting for, I'd like to give you my book report on my visit to the White House.
Was it really this is pretty good.
Okay. As you know, 12 days ago, I had dinner with President Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock, because we share a belief that there's got to be something better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away. And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous. Like I was going to sign a treaty or something. I have no power. I'm a fucking comedian, and he's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute. So, thank you. Okay, so meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like Stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog. His show is dead. Is 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it, which he did. Which he did with good humor. And I know as I say that, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened. Oh my God, Bill, are you going to say something nice about him? What I'm going to do is report exactly what happened. You decide what you think about it. And if that's not enough pure Trump hate for you, I don't give a fuck. So no, I didn't go MAGA. And to the president's credit, there was no pressure to. After we left the Oval Office, he showed me the little room off the office, you know, the one where Clinton used to. Okay. The blowjob room. Okay. Well, not anymore. That's where they keep the merch now. It is. And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner shit-tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged asshole I was. I read it and thought, oh, what a lovely way to welcome someone to your house. But when I got there, that guy wasn't living there. Now, does Trump want respect? Of course, who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that. Okay. Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. And I thank you for them. No. Okay, example. In the Oval Office, he was showing me the portraits of presidents, and he pointed to Reagan and said, in all seriousness, you know, the best thing about him, his hair. I said, well, there was also that whole bringing down communism thing, waiting for the button next to the Diet Coke button to get pushed and I go through the trap door. But no, he laughed, he got it. I said to him at one point, Mr. President, you know the dog, that's unusual in the White House. He said, well, a lot of the presidents, they had a dog for political reasons. I said, no, people love dogs, that's what that is. Oh yeah. Okay, that's true.
Yeah, we got to put you on hold there, Bill, before we get in trouble, I'm sure. But what's that, Jamie? Well, we're going to play some more of it, but we got to kind of break it up because YouTube might get a little upset with us. No, there's a lot of when you listen to the whole interview, and we've actually heard it, and we've played it on the show before, but when you listen to the whole interview, let me move this off the screen for a minute. You're kind of like, wow, Bill. I mean, would y'all have a little love fest in the backyard we didn't know about or something? Oh, no, Bill still gives him a ton of shit. If you watch Bill Maher's show, he's up and down Trump's ass like you wouldn't believe. And Trump's still up and down. But when you listen to this, and of course, when you listen to them, both of them talk about this, it's wow. Okay. It's definitely different. Well, I think, well, I've always said I thought Trump was different at home than he is when he's out and about, because when you see his kids, I mean, his grandkids are crawling all over him. His kids are crawling over. His great grandkids are crawling. Like he gives, and you can tell he's used to it. It's not even a thing. He's, you know, they had him. They were watching something on TV. He was sitting there watching TV with his back to the camera, and one of the kids just kept jumping across him. I'd already been like holding the kid up by his arm, like, you better go sit your ass down somewhere. And no, he just, and I'm telling y'all, everybody's always talking about what kid you should be watching out, who's going to be president. And I know we talk about Barron Trump and we talk about this one and that one, but that granddaughter of his is the one y'all better watch. Think about this. She has been on the airplane with him everywhere he goes. She's on that jet flying around with her dad, with her granddad.
Really?
She's out playing golf with him. Yes. Oh, she's learning. She's listening and learning. If anybody's going to learn the art of the deal, it's going to be her. I don't think Ivanka wants it. No, I don't think she wants it. The two boys probably do, Eric and what's the other guy, but Junior. But I don't know if they've got it. They do run Junior as JD Vance's vice president. Yeah, they got him listed at that. Whether it happens, I don't know. I will tell you this: they're watching that speech with JD Vance in Minnesota today. He looked a little more mature. Jay and I've been talking about him lately. Because a lot of times he doesn't seem to be as mature as he should be for his age, and he seems to be a little ditty. Somebody told me, I think it was Linda told me, he's got a fourth baby on the way. Be fruitful and multiply. It's well, if you're asking me, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I'm gonna pick Rubio. If I had to pick somebody out of the Republican Party to vote for president right now, it'd be Rubio. Because he seems to kind of shit together. I mean, he's running half the fucking country by himself. That's why Trump can go off and do stupid shit. Because Rubio's out there running this department, running that department, taking care of Venezuela. I mean, Jesus, what is this man? Does he even get to sleep?
I think with the way they were talking about how he sleeps.
Oh, Trump? Yeah.
He works like 12, 14 hours. He sleeps 2 to 4 hours and then it keeps on going.
He cycles. That's how I sleep. I cycle about every 4 hours. Eventually, my body catches up somewhere and says, "Okay, asshole, you're gonna have to sleep for a day or so." But that actually takes a while. Oh, Democrats join Republicans in committee to vote to hold Clintons in contempt. I'm pretty sure they were held in contempt.
I think they already are. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's hear this guy here right quick. Let's bring him up.
I don't hear anything. Oh,
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries calling me a quote stone cold liar during a press conference defending the recent discovery of Democrats' communication.
You should never call old white guy stone cold liars.
Jeffrey Epstein
to get even.
And I bring with me something that he and many of his fellow Democrats like Jamie Raskin, Jasmine Crockett, and Stacey Plaskett apparently detest. And that is a thing called evidence.
Evidence.
Tuesday, I gave a speech on the House floor detailing my House Oversight Committee's good work to date on our Epstein investigation. After all, Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrats in Congress,
if I was in Congress,
and your allies in the corporate media have been demanding a full release of the Epstein documents for months, including all the documents from the Epstein estate. So without hesitation, I subpoenaed all of the Jeffrey Epstein estate documents because I, as well as my Republican colleagues on the House Oversight Committee, we want to know what really happened, what went on, who was involved in these
You just like to hear your
crimes.
voice talk. Come on, boy, move along.
We want justice for the survivors. That's why we're doing this investigation. So House Oversight obtained over 30,000 pages of documents from the estate. Unlike the Democrats who only released 10 of those over 30,000 pages of documents, Republicans on the House Oversight Committee released every single document on the website for the American people to see. Democrats and many in the media were anxiously clutching their pearls in anticipation of potential dirt on President Trump. In the end, after full transparency by the Republicans on the Oversight Committee, there was nothing new about the president's former relationship with Epstein, and certainly nothing scandalous. But we did find two sitting Democrat members of Congress had communication with Epstein. First, it's been highly reported and debated about Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett texting during an Oversight Committee hearing with Jeffrey Epstein while trying to conspire with him to hurt or embarrass Donald Trump. But according to Jamie Raskin, that was okay because Mr. Epstein was her constituent. How embarrassing. A rationale is that? But the second communication was this email right here, where Hakeem Jeffries' campaign reached out directly to Jeffrey Epstein, soliciting campaign dollars for the, quote, Brooklyn Barack. Now, whereas Jamie Raskin explained Plaskett's communication with Epstein as simply responding to a constituent, Hakeem Jeffries had a very different response when asked about it by the media. He denied its existence. Hakeem Jeffries said, Comer is a stone cold liar. And then he reverted to calling me names for the second week in a row. So let's read it to make sure. To Jeffrey Epstein, and that's the real Jeffrey Epstein, not Jasmine Crockett's Jeffrey Epstein. This is the real Jeffrey Epstein. From Hakeem Jeffries' campaign. Dear Jeffrey, we are thrilled that we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, one of the rising stars of the New York delegation, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack. Hakeem is committed to electing a Democrat majority in 2014 and is encouraging his friends to participate in the DCCC fundraising dinner with President Obama and Hakeem Jeffries. It ends with a number for Jeffrey Epstein to call to go to the dinner and, quote, get an opportunity to get to know Hakeem better. Here's the evidence. The email speaks for itself. The only stone cold liar in this debate is Hakeem Jeffries. So, Mr. Minority Leader, take a deep breath, chill out, stop lying, stop with the juvenile name calling, and own up to the fact that your campaign solicited campaign cash from Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, I don't know what you're going to say about that. I mean, that sounds pretty straightforward. Oh, man. We got to play this one before we go to
yeah, is this one of them?
Here we go.
He's losing it.
White people. You're racist against whites. You're racist against whites. She is. White people want to have privilege and they want to have non-white people get hurt.
How high are you right now?
But they don't want to have to watch it.
What is wrong with you?
They don't want to have their souls implicated in it.
You don't have souls.
And so because they're now watching their Gardner, right. They don't want to watch John Lewis get beat. They just want him to get beat without them having to see it and having to be accountable for it.
Oh God, and they say I'm the violent one.
White people. You're racist against whites.
You're racist against whites.
White people want.
She's pretty seriously racist.
Yeah.
It's I don't even know what to say about that. No, I'm sorry, guys. It was just, oh my God, can anybody really believe that shit? No, we're gonna play some music. We're gonna go to break, then we'll be back, and we may play some of these, and we may not. We got other stuff we got to talk about. What do you mean, Epstein? Have you noticed how quiet it's gotten about Epstein?
Yeah,
Trump says I'm going to go blow up Greenland. No, fuck Epstein. Let's talk about Greenland. And then the guys got it right. Why are we talking about the Ukraine? Nobody's touching Greenland. Nobody's invaded Greenland. We're going to send troops over there. Wait, you won't send troops to the Ukraine, but you can go send troops to Greenland and fight against the United States, who you know is going to kick your ass. Oh, yeah, you might as well go fight with Russia.
I never got a final total, but I mean, one of the biggest number I ever heard was about 34 troops. 8 countries sent troops to Greenland to fight us because they thought Trump was going to send, the U.S. military. Kind of stupid is that?
No, actually, we're going to play some Mark Cohen, Walking in Memphis. And then we'll be back from that. And I don't know, we'll see where we are. Well, we'll see where we are. We just so much shit, people. I know. Throw me up on the screen if I'm not up there already.
Let me get in there. There's nothing here to throw up.
Oh, wait. Okay, well, how did I do that? How did I get out of here? Let me out of here, thing. Won't even let me out of here to go find John. All right, here we go.
Oh, wait a minute. You just turned off New York.
New York? Yes, goodbye, New York. How do you listen to those? Go to sleep, baby. Okay, here you go. There we go.
I thought that was clever.
Okay, turn that on like so. And what's that, Frankie G's? No, it's right there. Look at that. See what Jay and I are so cute on the other side. And it's about 4 minutes, I think. And then we shall to return. Yes, 4 minutes and 12 seconds, actually. So here we go, guys. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome back, everybody. That's Genius Mark Cohen. He's been around a long, long time. So kind of laid back, mellow. We've been talking a lot of heavy stuff here, so I think we laid back the audience a little bit. It's no, I mean we've been in some deep topics here and some shit. You know, you're like, wait, what are you saying? What the fuck? Whoa, wait, calm down. It was that kind of last hour. Well, I mean, we got as much material as we have time, if that's what you want to know, because we own the time. Yeah, we go as long as we want. Jay and I and whoever's on the show, actually, we so technically for time's sake things for Michelle, we own the slot till 1 a.m. And then anybody after that who wants to come on. You mean following this show? You mean directly after the show ends?
Used to have a show, but we don't really have one now.
Yeah, Space That Radio. We used to carry Space That Radio, and we still carry some of their stuff. But well, no, it's not that. I don't have. They gave us trouble. Well, we syndicate all of this stuff, so our system picks it up automatically, and it was picking up their YouTube, and YouTube was giving us shit about their YouTube feeds being on ours, and I was like, well, we have permission, which we did, but it got to be too much hassle, so I said, no, it's okay. Dave Scott's a nice guy. Yeah, he's okay. I don't know what Dave knows. You know what? I haven't talked to Dave in 2 years. He's a paranormal host. Well, then these paranormal hosts are not the same as paranormal researchers that turn into paranormal hosts. Like Sean, that hosts with us on Saturdays. He was a paranormal researcher who turned into a paranormal host. That's different. That's a host with experience in the field that they're talking about. Well, a lot of people just because if you're in the field, you don't talk or you don't know, you just research. And that's why you ask questions. And those a lot of times are more fun because you're a rookie and it's a rookie asking a guest questions. Even though it's questions a guest been asked before, it's being asked in a rookie way. So a lot of times the person answering the question doesn't mind. You know, I never understood when I first got into ufology way back before the sun started coming up. I'd ask questions sometimes and people would look at me like, and you know, back then it wasn't asked that much, but still some questions had been asked a lot. And I started realizing, you know, these people don't want to be asked these questions anymore. You know, go about a different roundabout way or go find it because obviously they don't want to ask about it, answer it anymore. They can be found somewhere else. Remember back in the day, people, internet was still kind of skiffy. You still had to go use the library. I know some of you people don't even know what a library is, but they still have libraries. Yeah, they still got a couple of nice ones.
They have plenty of good working libraries.
And most colleges have a nice one on it. Because digital's great, but you know, it's not the all of everything. Well, one, you have to have power. You know, when you can just take your flashlight and read your book or a candle. And it's worse than that. An operating library system struck by an EMP when in full operation, guess what? There ain't nothing left on that system anymore. I'm talking about an EMP from a nuclear weapon. Yeah, they're way too powerful. If the system's on when it happens, it's adios amigos. I don't, unless it's a shielded aircraft of some sort or shielded something. It don't necessarily have to be an aircraft. The EMP produced from a 15 kiloton. I don't know anything on Earth that can take it without burning out. Not if the system's on. If the system's off, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the system off is like wind blowing across the surface of it. It doesn't do any harm of it. The system on is like you just took a bucket of pure water and dumped it inside of an electronic panel without any shielding. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's what do you mean with that? Oh, you know what? I can't even talk about it. It'd been fucking 40 years, and I still can't talk about that. It was an incident when I was on the U.S. Nimitz that I can see I can't talk about it anyway. It's some shit I'll never understand it, and it's dumb. It's not even anything. It's actually quite funny, and I don't know why it's so classified because, frankly, I know everybody else knows about it. So, I mean, the other party's interested, and part of it ain't even in operation anymore. I know, ain't that some shit? The government's got the government's ways for whatever reason. The government's got its ways. You mean, are you being serious in asking me that question? First off, the first question, which is about Pal Talk, none of you motherfuckers ever remind me, or I would put it on this computer. You gotta no, it's gotta be like the day before a show. One, because it's a pain in the ass to put on, and two, then I can have it on there. And it'll just be running in the background. Well, it's on one of the other computers, but it's over there, and I'm over here. Just one of those things. And the other question is, that's classified. So you asked me how many classified missions had I ever been on, I've been involved with, and that number would be classified. I don't make the rules, and I'm being absolutely 100% serious. Yep. Because I don't know, it's just the way they do things. And you know what? Everybody who was even involved in this when I was in is probably fucking dead now. Nope, they don't care. Nope, they don't care. If it's a secret. Think about it, people. The Russians and Chinese have been spying on us like motherfuckers. And somehow or another, we've been flying the X-47 around. Nobody knew we had it. I kind of wondered about the Chinese because of that front fin wing, but they probably just heard something. I think it's their J-20 or J-35's got extra. What are the mini wing front?
Their J-35 also had a problem with its exhaust, which they say they fixed, but they didn't really.
Yeah, well, it's not black anymore. It's sandy brown now. No, I'm serious, people. The first time they ever previewed this jet was at an air show, and the bitch took off. You couldn't even see the fucking crowd. It was so black. It is flying across the sky. You didn't even have to worry if you could hear it. Plus, it was loud. The amount of blackness was ridiculous. Plus, you knew if that much black was coming out the back of that jet, it was giving off a heat signature, which means what does that mean, Jay? You're giving off a heat signature. What does a heat seeking missile do?
It looks for hot stuff.
Oh, yeah, so you just killed yourself.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, I seen that article. He was whining about it. Elon Musk whining about, well, we're gonna have so many chips, we're not gonna know what to do with them. You know, and the Chinese don't have that problem. Yeah, because we're not giving them our fucking chips, Eli. Get the fucking what? Somebody slapped them, fucker. No, Eli wants us to give the Chinese the chips so Eli can get one of the chips. No, that's what that's about. No, for some reason, because he's not native born, he's got a limit. Yeah, I found that. I didn't find that out until I was 40 years old. I was at a special thing in DC. It was a get together, and this general was telling me about it. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He said, well, no. He said, we bring these brilliant scientists in from around the world. He said, but they can only go so high because they're not native born Americans. He said, even though they're probably more loyal, than it's something that was put back together, I guess, in the 40s. When we were bringing people in from Germany, they didn't want them to get to where they could be president or something. Could you seen Werner von Braun as president?
Oh, yeah.
Werner von Braun. Shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what Operation Paperclip. His role in the Nazi war machine was absolutely hidden from the American public. Actually, we did it to 160 German Nazi scientists, spies, and other. But
he wasn't
really nasty individuals, though.
No, Luftwaffe is the Air Force, in which he might have been part of. But no, he wasn't a Nazi. He wasn't there. No,
he was SS. Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. They say he wasn't SS. And when you asked Carol Rosin about it, she said he wasn't SS. She said that was something that somebody started a long time ago, but he wasn't, because there was something about Project Bluebird or Project something, that if you were SS, you weren't allowed to be in the country unescorted anywhere. So, because when I met what's his face, I was arguing with him. I said, no man, he's a fucking SS for sure. You ain't getting that kind of money. You ain't SS, and if you ain't SS in title, he got to be SS in hard. There ain't no way you're getting that kind of fucking money. But when we go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
This is just a quick blurb about Wernher von Braun off of NASA's website.
Sexy beast.
Based on his Army-funded research on liquid propellant rocketry, von Braun received a doctorate in physics on July 27th, 1934, from the Main University in Berlin. Von Braun was a member of an SS equestrian unit in 1933 to 34, joined the Nazi Party in 1937, and became a junior SS officer in 1940. Yes, he was.
What's that, June? Yeah, I know, I'm reading it too. No, but see, in his what is this? That's his bio. He said he was not. He said that was all.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about the time. Think about the climate. Okay,
So he's saying
Carol Rosin, the victim, rather than him being the one who made.
No. Carol Rosin says the same thing. She said that was the only way he could get funding. That's what I was just saying. You can't get funding unless you way up, and it's not just about being way up. You got to be trusted, and if you're not SS, you're not being trusted. But he swears on his grave he wasn't SS, and both of his assistants say he wasn't either. He said that was just the way they moved around in the thing, which, you know what? I don't think it fucking matters whether he was SS or not, because he killed a lot of fucking people with them fucking bombs.
Well, it wasn't just a bomb.
guy.
It wasn't just a bomb. He also,
I know it was other stuff.
Participated in the final solution. They were the problem with the gas chambers was that the ovens weren't efficiently killing everyone. They were only killing about 85% of the people they put into each oven, which means every time they went in there were about 15, 20 people still moaning around and groaning, which they had to either waste a bullet on or cook them again. So he did something because of his knowledge of, I guess, gas injection and the propellants and all that. He redesigned the nozzles that fed the gas into the ovens and the ignition system so that it was a more efficient burn. And after that, about 99%, 98% were burnt. And so every once in a while, one or two people were still alive, but not everybody. So he was a war criminal, no matter how you want to spin it.
Well, then he'd have went because they got a lot of the war criminals.
That's what Operation Paperclip did, was it quashed a lot of their war crimes. 160 individuals, Nazi sympathizing soldiers, men who did some pretty heinous shit, really, really heinous shit, got into this country under Operation Paperclip, and their war crimes were quashed and hidden from the public.
They didn't have to. Everybody knew about them from the other side. See, that's the point. You squashing the U.S. didn't mean dick. Venezuela had them. All the countries South America had them.
I'm not trying to say whether it was good or bad. It's already happened.
Well, no, I'm just saying you couldn't say you're bringing in somebody in the dark, because sooner or later you're going to see a paper from Venezuela or somewhere down in Argentina and go, oh, well, wait, this motherfucker did this, and this.
Good segue, by the way. I haven't had a chance to verify this.
Oh wait, where is
but
this?
Apparently some some CIA files regarding Argentina.
And gotta love Argentina.
And Hitler dying there in 1968 have leaked.
You gotta love you some Venice. I mean, we gotta love you some Argentina. That's where they say all the Nazis went, Jesse, to Argentina. Because there was no extradition or anything. They all went down there. There was lots of rumors that Hitler went down there.
There's rumors that they went down there with our help.
According to the Russians, they committed suicide in their place in Berlin on the day of the invasion.
No. That's some alleyway. They got cornered at some alleyway, and maybe it was a bunker they were trying to get out of or get it back into.
That's where they were found dead on that whatever that little chair was. There's actually a picture of it.
Let me get the story for you.
There's actually a picture of it, which is weird.
Well, this is Death of Abel Brown, but that'd be the same thing.
Well, no, Kim. So they said they left a wife with the kids. So I don't even know where kids came into this. Kids didn't come in this until after. Yeah, because nobody ever talked about Hitler with fucking kids ever. And then all of a sudden, they did. I don't know. Well, no one would know who they are today. Give me a fucking break. How would you know? They could have moved anywhere and blended right in with any population. You start
okay, this sounds interesting. This is Hitler's last days from the MI5 website. That's if you don't know, that's James Bond. So apparently Hitler took Eva back into their rooms for the last time. This is in their bunker during the afternoon. Hitler shot himself, and then Eva took the poison capsule that he had given her.
Yep, that's what they say happened. That's what the Russians say happened.
I thought I remembered a story where the Russians said they had cornered him in an alleyway and shot him. Maybe that was one of his, fakes.
But that's the other problem was there was so much bullshit tied to these cases. I mean, there's just so much of it.
But also, there's a lot of evidence and a lot of eyewitnesses that say a submarine in 1945, after April, showed up because he was killed April 30th, 1945. So after that date, this submarine arrives in Argentina in the port, and out comes a contingent of very Nazi-looking dudes, one unmistakably looking like Hitler.
Yeah, but I remember reading that report twice, and both times they said it was oh God, I can't think of his name now. He's really famous Nazi general, really fucking famous. They said he had gotten away, and his lookalike had been captured by the Russians, but he had gotten away. And something else that was mentioned in that, which I found was odd and interesting, was they said at least 9 of the top people are lookalikes.
Yeah.
Now, would those people go to, die? There was no DNA back there, John. How are they going to fucking check that? Is your word against
they barely had fingerprint technology back then. I mean, they'd only just started using it for like maybe 30 years.
Yeah, you're
probably not even. That probably didn't even back then still. I mean, it was still an early technology even then.
You're talking about, they probably had a picture, and that's what they were going by, the picture. And even if they captured them, those people's families were probably held somewhere or being saying, look, as long as you take the fall, your families will be forever. And that's just how shit was done back in the day.
Well, it's also why oftentimes when you're a major criminal like that, they would take you and strip you all the way down, and they'd write down every mark and scar and, odd looking freckle and odd looking this and that on you, so that, in the future, they have no problem identifying you, especially if they kill you.
Yeah, especially if they kill you.
Yeah, especially if they blow your head off. They go, oh, I remember he had that scar. Yeah, remember? Yeah, that's the dude.
No, Raymond, no, seriously, dude. I mean, they didn't really have a choice, actually. Yeah, well, they needed to identify you, and tattoos and things like that, and scars help identify you. And
scars, dental work, things that are unchanging, prosthetics, things of that nature, dentures, bridges. Because most, especially medical stuff, almost all of it has a, if it was attached to you by a doctor or a dentist, it has a serial number on it somewhere, microscopically, that they can, pull that out and identify your remains from. So, it'd be very rare that someone could like pull a bridge or a denture out of your face and put it in theirs and it would stick. It wouldn't fit them naturally because it wasn't made for their mouth. But anything that's in your mouth, your prosthetics, all have trackable serial numbers on them.
Well, right now they're talking about when you're being born, they're saying if this bill passes, it'll be around 2030. But they want you when you're born, they want to chip you.
Yeah, there's the mark of the beast right there. Not happening. If I was having a kid, no way. I want my kid, if I want my kid, chipped like a freaking puppy dog, I'll decide that later on when he becomes.
Well, what they're saying is it's not going to be the parents, up to the parent, but when the child is 19, then they can decide to have the chip removed. But until that point, they're taking that option away from the parents.
Well, that's bullshit.
Let's see how that goes over. That's going to go over like a fucking ton of bricks.
Yeah, it ain't going to go over very well at all.
But then again, they still might do it. I mean, look at COVID after all. They sure got that fucking that if we had like a terrorist problem in our country and we had people running loose and stealing kids and shit, parents would be lining up to get it done. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, chip my kid, so I always know where my kid is." And your kid will be like,
also
"Don't
rumor
chip
that some
me."
of that the COVID virus the injections, the vaccines are made from recently let's just say vivisection baby human hearts.
No, you never know about any of that.
I read a recent article about that. It was very kind of strange and disturbing, a little bit off kilter too, it seemed. But the article maintained that the reason why Trump has turned off abortions was because what they were doing when abortions were, not, they're still, federally whatever regulated. They were saying the article says that they would allow babies of 5 to 8 months gestation time be naturally born, allowed to breathe for a little bit so the heart gets beating, because for some reason they needed the heart to have been beating for some time. And then while the child is still there gasping for breath because it's not a fully developed baby yet, without any anesthesia, they cut the heart out while it's alive, screaming and yelling.
Yeah, well, see, if that was true, there'd be a lot of people going to jail.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. You might get away with that in one place, one location, but even that eventually would get leaked out. It's like when the guy busted them all for selling stem cell research.
Yeah,
and it's.
I mean, but I think there's still so. I don't think that baby, cutting the baby's heart out while it's alive is really necessarily the way it's going on. But I think there is some conspiracy there where, if not necessarily stem cell, but some sort of freshly aborted fetal cells are being used as a way to grow and catalyze the vaccine so they can make mass amounts of it for adults.
Okay, so stem cell research has been going on for quite a long time, even though it's outlawed in most places.
But
but we're allowed to use aborted stem cells. So that's what the whatchamacallit was getting in trouble for. They said they were selling them to other companies for them to use them. So the company that was doing the abortions were supposed to be allowed to use them for research. It wasn't supposed to be being sold to other companies, and that kid busted them. And he actually made a sale with them at a restaurant. And they said it was all fake, but no, they tracked down the people. It was real. But then somehow or another, it was Joe Biden had just taken over. So he kind of went away.
Yeah.
But still, they still do it. I mean, they can still use stem cells for research. The reason they keep it outlawed for the most part is because they don't want it to become, because baby stem cells are much different than adult ones. And they don't want you finding miracle cures from baby stem cells, and all of a sudden we're going to just start, making babies to use for pills. That just is not going to flow real well with our populations. Most of the people on the planet would get a little bit upset about it, especially when they found out you were putting it in their bodies. So I don't know how that's going to work out either. What's that, Jimmy? There are some sick fuckers on the planet, but no fairness to them, and I shouldn't say it like this. The stem cell research has shown a lot of stuff. It's taught us a lot of things. It's you mean why don't I have a problem with stem cells from aborted babies? Because the babies are being aborted, and I hate to see anything wasted. Well, if they're going to give their lives, maybe they'll give their lives to make life better for somebody else. I don't know what else to tell you. It's one of them things. It bothers the fuck out of me, Crease. Yes, it does. But I don't know what to tell you. I'm not the one that I'm going to say this. I'm not the one that says yay or nay. Yeah, I don't know about all that. You got to do what you got to do. That sounds like some bullshit to me. I just got a fundamental problem with people killing babies. I mean, it's just fucked up. I don't. Nobody can make it right in my head. I just, you can tell me whatever you want. It just doesn't. Just don't see how it's right. Now, everybody's got their opinions, and everybody's allowed to believe their opinion, at least in this country. Yes. Who? Oh, well, that was a completely. You talking about Amelia? Yeah, I seen her actually last night. Yeah, she was on hosting with Michelle last night. Oh, she's a sweetie pie. No, I mean, I like to give her trouble, but she's a sweetie pie. That is absolutely 100% true. I only give trouble to people I actually like. I know, isn't that a bitch? Stay on my shit list and I'll just never bother you. I know. This is kind of fucked up, ain't it? I see Yannick when this is kind of fucked up, Joe. Jay's married, got like 5 babies. Yes. I'm serious, man. I would not fuck with this old lady. She looks like she might kick you in the asshole. What do you mean? No, what? You people are whack tonight. Where's it? What messenger am I actually on? I'm gonna fucking delete this thing. Which? I'm on that messenger. Okay, well, I guess I ain't seen you crazy people in a while.
I was just reading a little further on the death of Hitler there. Apparently, after he shot himself, Ava took the poison pill. His staff took the bodies out of the bunker, put them on the road next to a vehicle, and Bormann and Goebbels showed up and poured gasoline on the bodies. Someone noted that one of the body's hairs was blonde instead of brown, which would have been Ava Braun, and then they set them ablaze. So
yeah, there was a lot of that. Was the body switched? No, but the Russians said they were there right after they killed themselves. They were still inside the building. So I mean, was the Russians telling the truth? I don't know. I wasn't there, but
yeah.
Do they have a reason to lie? Of course, they're fucking Russians. Of course, they have.
Of course they do. Yeah, they sensationalize it, so they sound better.
I mean, I'm not going to even try to say they weren't, but I mean, a lot of people said Hitler got away, and a lot of people said the U.S. knew where he was. Because it wasn't just if they found out Hitler was alive, it wasn't just an embarrassment to us. We're over here on the other side of the planet. But
yeah.
Europe and Russia, it would have been a serious embarrassment. How did he get away? How did he slip through Russia? Because remember, people, Russia got to Berlin first. They were there before the Americans were. Not much
way before.
What was it, a couple of days, I think, but it was long enough that they could do some looting and pillaging and some other stuff. Well, they were only supposed to go so far into the city and wait for the Americans, but I think it's been a long time since I read history on this, but I think they actually went further in than they were supposed to. And then, of course, we decided to, whatever reason, give Russia half of Germany. I never understood that. I would have been like, fuck you. They just almost kicked your ass. The only reason you're still alive is because we came over here. You're not getting it. It's ours. Fuck off. I said, you want to start a war? Did you not just see us drop 2 nukes on Japan? I said, look, we just kicked your ass and their ass. You want to really fuck with us? Really? We got troops just sitting around over here right now, a couple 100,000 of them. And Russia would have been like, oh, wait, never mind. And you know what? Russia, we're not scared of the cold weather. We actually have cold weather in this country. Up north and in Alaska and shit. Yes, but you know what, John? Nobody would have been fighting in Siberia, you dumbass. He's like, put the permafrost in Siberia, it's cold. I'm like, yeah, it's cold, but when I'm fighting there, what the fuck? No, we're going to Russia and St. Petersburg where they got heat and shit, dummy. Just fuck where the powers are. Well, if you want Russia to fall, you got to take Moscow and then you got to take St. Petersburg. And there's a couple of places, and that's it. They're going. There's only 180, 190 million of them. I think out of that, about 90 million or 60 or above. And I think out of that 100 that's left, maybe 50 or 60 of them are like 12 or below. Yeah, they have no fighting, feeding, working. So if they take their population that fights away, nobody's there that can grow food or run the farms or build the planes, or they're in a bad spot. The Europeans do have more manpower than we. They got 450 million people in theirs, and we have 350 in ours. Yes. We will kick their asses inside and out and upside down. Not even think twice about it. The Aussies ain't siding with the Brits. The Aussies be like, it was the first time we get a chance to get away from these pussies. Oh, man. Yeah, they have gotten pretty liberal, right? You're right. But you know what? You might see a little takeover after that. The one country considered paradise on Earth would probably be New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
It's beautiful, and they don't have snakes or spiders. I think they have no poisonous animals, unless you're in the water. In the fucking water, they got great whites and giant octopus and shit, giant squids.
Those really, really poisonous sea snakes.
Yeah, but on land, they're like all whistling and sweet and lovey and shit. And I'm sure over the years things have gotten brought in, but no, I remember
they got hobbits.
Yeah, they actually got real hobbit houses there.
Yeah, the hobbit town is still there.
You can go hang out and then chill and go horseback riding. I know like 4 people have ranches there, horseback ranches. Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I do know that the Hobbiton is like it's a working like adventure town. You go and you rent one of the Hobbit holes, and you rent it for it's like a hotel.
Yeah, and then you got to bake bread all day, whatever.
Huh?
Then they make you bake bread all week, man. You're like, no, get the fuck. Yeah. This ain't a vacation, man. You can't put me to work.
It's a working vacation. It's like Mennonites. They make you churn the butter and milk the cow and up by 4 and back to bed by 8.
Somebody come. Look, it's been a long time since I've been in the military. You've never not come waking me up at 4 unless I'm already awake.
No, I'm sure it's not like that. But it would be. I want to go. It sounds like it'd be a really cool thing to do.
It'd probably be fun.
I would imagine.
No, I knew somebody was going to bring that up. As soon as Jay said that about the Hobbit house, I knew somebody was going to bring that up. As far as I know, I think the Star Trek one is dead, and the Star Wars one is hanging on without a thread.
Star Trek one, what?
The hotels, the theme hotels where they let you do. They let you.
Oh
play.
Yeah, well that was at the hotel in Vegas, the Star Trek experience. It's done. I don't know about any Star Wars experiences, but there is in Ticonderoga, New York, and somewhere in Georgia, there are 2 different studios that produce fan-based original series Star Trek shows, and they have studio tours that you can pay to go to, and you can sit on the captain's chair and see the Enterprise and the transporter room and all the sets they have built. The one in New York looks really good because they have like an actual museum with actual like screen used props and costumes, which a lot of my friends are like part of that. So I'm gonna go check that out one day. It's like a 7-hour drive though.
Which one you're talking about, Chrissy? No, they had something in Disney. Oh yeah, they had something in Disney. It was a Star Trek hotel. You flew in the thing, you landed, and came in a hotel. And,
well, Disney has the Star Trek cruises, or did anyway. I don't know. They're different than the hotel was in one of the gambling hotels in Vegas, and it was called Star Trek Experience, and it was actually like they had corridors set up like the inside the Enterprise, and shops and people in costume and all that. It was. I never went. I wanted to go, but it sounded like it was a lot of fun. And I hear that the cruise is pretty similar too.
Yeah, well, whatever the one they had down there, because I know it was somewhere in Florida. They had it. They were so you would come in, they would bring you in, and you'd get on a ship, and they would fly you out to your ship, and then you would get in your ship, and then while you were in there, any window you passed, there was always something moving past it. There was always something going on. Any given time, you could be drug into some kind of deal on the ship. That's what they would do. And sometimes you could just get an assignment or what you wanted or start anything. But they have one for Star Wars like that too. And then they just disappeared.
There's at least one. I know there's at least one Star Wars cruise, but the biggest one was and they still do them. It's the Disney ones itself with all the Disney characters on board.
But all the good ones have gone the way of the dodo bird. Well, because just how many times you can sell it.
Maybe they still do. Let's see. Let's see if there's a Star Trek cruise still out there.
I see this Star Trek room I'm looking at right now. The whole room is
okay. So yeah, Star Trek cruise sold out. Join the wait list.
No, it's going to be like Star Trek, the new Star Trek. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, this one is already sold out, but it's February 20th to 27th on Port Canaveral, Puerto Plata, San Juan, and Coco Cay. I have no idea what that is. That's probably the destinations.
Yeah, it probably is destination. Let's see.
But it's sold out, people, anyway.
Oh, they're doing a new Star Wars thing, Star Trek thing in Vegas. That's cool.
Are they cool? That's awesome.
And
let's see if there's a Star Wars cruise. Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge, Disney Cruise Line.
See, I see these. They got all these ones with the different rooms. Like I'm looking at this hotel. It's got all kind of different Star Trek rooms in it.
Oh, that's cool. Is that the new one in Vegas that's going up?
I don't know where the hell it is. I just hit the damn button and it took me to the room. Inside Star Trek Iconic Suites at the Land of Legends. Oh, okay. Wherever the hell the Land of Legends is, people, you'll have to tell me. Nickelodeon Hotel, the iconic Star Trek Suites. Okay. I'm not staying at nothing that says Nickelodeon Hotel. I'm just telling you ahead of time. I don't give a fuck how good the Star Trek suite is. I don't care. I'm refusing. But these suites are pretty cool. They got like the one right here. You see the window above your bed. You can see the the warp drive thing. You can see it. Yeah, a lot of people like that kind of stuff, Jesse. Yeah.
Oh, here. How about this? The Star Trek USS Enterprise room at the Itty Bitty Inn. Let's see what this looks like.
Oh, I think I was just looking at that one. That one had the little old school Star Trek stuff in it.
Yeah, all I got is a calendar of how when do I want to come and visit. Oh, wow. Look at that. One picture of the room.
Yeah, that's all there was. Oh no, I think there was something I clicked that took you another page. It was two. It was what's that, Jimmy? No, there's a lot of cool stuff out there, but most people don't know about them. Used to be you would hear about stuff like this all over the place, but you hardly do anymore. No, you really don't. But I need to get out of there and get back to over here where I was. No, let me see. Let me see. Go over here. What was this one? Who sent us this? Okay, hold on. So the UN's going ahead with Donald Trump's peace plan. That's pretty cool.
Oh, good.
They finally decided that's what they're going to go with. Oh, wait, what we got? Let's see what this girl's got to say. What's that, Jesse? Let's see. No, well, we keep a lot of links up, and that's why. So when you're crossing, looking for stuff, you sometimes get lost in the links. It works pretty good. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Who is this? Well, what you have to say?
There were never white slaves, only black ones. This is one of the most ignorant statements imaginable. Slavery has existed across countless cultures, nations, and religions for thousands of years.
You tell him, baby.
Many Black Americans make statements like this while comfortably living in privilege, loudly complaining about slavery and racism, even as millions of people around the
Black
world
people in this country live in
remain
privilege?
trapped
Oh shit!
in modern slavery. They spend hundreds of dollars on their EBT cards at Walmart, live in free housing, and still insist America is unbearable. All I see are spoiled, privileged brats who insist on playing the victim no matter how much others try to accommodate them. The truth is, most of these complainers wouldn't last a month outside this country.
You tell him, baby. You tell him.
There were never white slaves, only black ones.
She ain't not playing. She gonna put her foot in somebody's ass. Oh, okay, people. Now, y'all challenged about healthcare in Canada earlier, so let's see what this guy's got to say.
All right.
Canada, this is so grim. It came out that more than 23,000 Canadians died waiting for medical care last year. And that's an increase of 3% year over year. And by the way, we're at over 100,000 people since 2018 who've died waiting for care. The worst offenders are, no surprise, Ontario #1 and Quebec #2. And then after that, you have the list of the other provinces. And before you come at me saying that we need to spend more money on healthcare to fix this issue, wrong, because we are at an all-time high, historical high of $244 billion a year spending. By the way, this represents $6,000 per person per year, which is an increase of threefold over what it was in 1990. We rank as one of the highest per capita medical spending in the G7, and yet we fall behind everyone in terms of doctors per capita, MRI machines per capita, beds per capita. And of course, our wait times are some of the highest in the developed world. And let that be a cautionary tale to the Americans who look up north thinking that our single-payer healthcare system is the best. Guys, you have it much better down there. And don't let Canadians who are brainwashed into thinking they have the best system ever tell you otherwise. Canada falls behind Germany, Switzerland, France, Sweden, Finland in terms of healthcare, and we pay more than all of them. And to Canadians, it's about time you wake
Basically all of Europe, he's saying.
It's completely screwed up. And guess what? It ain't getting any better. What the fuck, Canada? This is so great.
We're just telling you what it's like, people. Oh, what's this?
What do you got?
The Democratic Party, Stuart, is dead. They are now filled with socialists, communists, and Marxists that have been masquerading as Democrats. So the word liberal really now means socialism. The word liberal means Marxism. It means communism. The Democratic Party is dead. I actually believe that Bill Clinton would be a Republican now if he was running for office because of what the Democratic Party stands for. They have never met any government program that they don't believe should take over your life. That's what Mandani ran on. I will do everything for you. The government is your daddy. The government is your mommy. And so when you hear the word liberal, as it is exploded in the Democratic Party, let's be clear and call it what it is. This is communism and socialism taking over the Democratic Party. They may be able to win in places like New York City, but I also think the more we talk about it honestly, the more Americans will reject it because they realize it's failed everywhere in the world it's ever been enacted. The Democratic Party, Stuart, is dead. They are now filled with socialists, communists.
We'll see in just a couple of months. What are we, 8 months away now? Oh, wait, we got to see Big Boy.
Y'all, you know that part about no tax on tips? Look at this. It's all Democrat states that are blocking that part of the bill. Y'all, you know that part about no tax on tips? Well, take a look at this. It's all Democrat states that are blocking that part of the bill.
Oh, you Democrats, man.
Well, that bill has been passed anyway, so that's old news.
Let's see. What was this one?
You heard what the foreign officials were saying, but the Danish foreign minister says the U.S. has, quote, wide military access already to Greenland, and we can ask to increase our presence there. So why wouldn't that be enough?
Why wouldn't American taxpayers pay more for Europe's defense or Greenland, which is a possession of Denmark, right? I don't think so. President Trump is looking at this with clear eyes. Greenlanders will go independent in the 21st century, just like Iceland left the Kingdom of Denmark in the 20th century. Greenland will leave. President Trump's making sure they don't fall into the lap of China or Russia. That's a good thing. Greenlanders really want the Greenlandic dream. They want prosperity. They want good paying jobs. They don't have that because they rely on welfare from Denmark. Denmark doesn't have the ability to develop Greenland. It doesn't have the ability to.
Looks like that's a done deal anyway, or part of it.
Yeah, I think we're in control of that.
Oh, wait, here, okay, Canadians, this is another one for y'all.
So I had my first experience at a U.S. hospital, and let me tell you, it is night and day between U.S. and Canada. First of all, I took a tumble off my mountain bike and I screwed up my knee pretty bad. It is in a brace right now. And I was in and out within a couple of hours, like 2.5 hours max. I went in there and I thought they were going to completely screw me with the prices. But when I told them I don't have insurance and like we're going to have to pay out of pocket, they were super understanding about that. So they gave me a price list. The doctor came in. He's like, well, you can still sort of step on it, but like it hurts a lot. There's no bruising. I don't think it's broken. Let's just go for a CT scan to see if there's any issues with like your ligaments and stuff and nerve damage or whatever. Because it's like bruised on the side and everything, and I can only like move it that much, and that's about it. And I was in and out, and the entire thing cost $800. Now, if you compare that to the amount of taxes that we're paying in Canada, which is almost 50% of our paychecks, first of all, our roads suck, our hospitals suck. The nurses here in the U.S. actually seem like they want to be at work, unlike Canada, where the nurses are just absolutely horrible to you. I have had such bad experiences in Grand Prairie with those nurses having attitude issues, especially after the you-know-what, where they openly scream in the waiting room asking you what your like status is. And then not only that is you're going to have to wait in that waiting room for like 8 to 10 hours, no medicine, nothing, without even being seen before you go in. Then they will actually x-ray you or CT scan you. Then you have to wait another probably 4 to 6 hours for a doctor to come and look at your x-rays to determine what's wrong. And then they'll probably just let you go home with like T3s and mental health issues because the nurses are just so miserable up there. I've only ever had one good doctor up in Grand Prairie, and his last name started with an O, but he was not educated in Canada 100%. And he was the best doctor, but I haven't seen him like pretty much since the you-know-what push. But down here, nothing. Like the amount of like taxes that we pay, you'd think that we would have the best healthcare system and roads that are way better than American roads. Nope. Everything is way, way worse. And so now I'm wondering, like this socialist system that Canada has going on that pretty much has taken us to pure communism. Are people realizing that like the services that we are paying really high prices for, because the top tier insurance here is like $650 a month. We pay like so much more of that in taxes alone. Plus on top of that, where you have to get insurance, where they only cover 80% of your medication. So is free healthcare really worth it? Or do we need to go to a two-tier system like they have in Australia, where they have a public healthcare system and a private healthcare system for those that can afford it, just to kind of alleviate the pressure off of the private healthcare system. Now, we're kind of stuck here for an extra few days because I can't drive, because I can't move my leg. My husband has to carry me in and out of the RV, which sucks. But honestly, I would take American healthcare system over Canadian anytime. Like their roads are better, their healthcare system is better, there's more freedom down here. And the cops don't act like, you know, they're be all end all of the law. They were actually giving out freezies on the street during Independence Day. You can't see that in Canada, especially after the whole like Justin Trudeau police state that they brought in, especially in the last 4 years. So all of Canadians, I'd really rethink the amount of taxes that we're paying and how much like crappier our healthcare system really is.
And the bad part is she can't say that in Canada anymore.
No, she will get arrested.
Yeah, she can get in trouble for that. Oh, this is the other guy. This is the other one, the Brits. We're going to put him up.
Well, I experienced the US healthcare system for the first time.
So I'm going to tell you my experience and the differences between the UK and the US with their healthcare system. If you didn't know, I torn ligaments in my lower back and had to go to an emergency center in the US. One of the biggest differences that I noticed going somewhere in the US is the wait time. The wait time is cut down by hours. I arrived in the emergency center. I was sent out within a few hours. If that was the UK, you are waiting a lot longer. The medication,
you got UK hours
in the US,
up there, huh, man?
there's no holding back. I was given pain medication. It's amazing for one. I was sent out of the hospital without a diagnosis. I'm not going to put that down to the US health system. I'm just going to put it down to human error. But I did go back the next day for a scan to get an actual diagnosis. I had the scan. It was very, very quick. So in the UK, if you go to the hospital, you usually see someone and you've got to wait even longer than see someone else. And you've got to wait and you've got to see the doctor. When I was in the healthcare system in the US, it was very quick, very efficient. It was okay. Here comes a doctor. Here comes a person to minister the medication. Here comes the person to take your details. It was like a conveyor belt system. So in the US, the wait time was a lot shorter than the UK. The medication's a lot better in the US. That's my experience experiencing the US healthcare system for the first time. So I experienced the US healthcare system for the first time. So I'm going to tell you my experience and the differences between the UK and the US with their healthcare system. If you didn't know, I torn ligaments in my lower back and had to go.
Poor guy. But him and his buddy, they're traveling all over the US. They're having a ball. And so, guys, pay attention to what you just heard here. The one guy's from the UK. The girl was from Canada. And what did they say about their healthcare? Both of them? They said, what? It sucks. Americans, pay attention. Obviously, we don't want to go that way. Okay. Poor Jay tells me I have to wait hours up there. I don't want to go that way either. I'll stay away.
Yeah, mine is pretty bad. It's we're the hospital in town in Pennsylvania. It's quick, but the one where all of my doctors is in Hagerstown, and it's a bad fentanyl and what's the other one? Not crack, speed, I guess.
We weren't listening to that. I was just letting that play.
And I think that slows down the hospital. All those fentanyl addicts and drug addicts showing up.
They should do like they do. They give them a special group, or they got a little place for them, or they'll pull them on the side and say, because they can tell most of the time. And they'll just say, hey, you have to wait here. I mean, I usually go in. I'm usually in pain.
What they do is they stuff them in the corner of the waiting room and throw a hot blanket on them, give them a 8-ounce can of diet ginger ale, and wait for them to start complaining.
and one of the first things they do is they look how many times you've been to the hospital, how many times for there. See, I got a stent, so I can cheat a little bit. I can go in and say, oh man, my chest hurts a little bit. Poof, I'm in the back, hooked up to all kind of shit in like 5 minutes, man. It's like, wow, okay. It don't matter what the fuck's wrong with me. They ain't making sure they ain't. But I mean, usually I go in, it's not a big deal, I went in for what I guess I thought was the flu, which turned out to be COVID, and they were like, hey, yeah, Joe, how you been? Blah, blah, blah. Look, they said, and then she said, well, what did your regular doctor say? I said, my regular doctor said it's been 16 days. I shouldn't be feeling bad. He said, well, she's right. You shouldn't be feeling bad. And he said, I can tell you to go home, take it. Maybe you're not quite getting over it. And then he tested me for the flu. He said, well, you don't have the flu, and you don't have a cold. He said, I'm not sure what you got. And then he run some more blood work. He said, well, I don't know what you got. And he said, come back. And then, I don't know, like a month passed, and I got a phone call. Oh, you got COVID. You had COVID. Your wife had COVID. And like, killed Linda, put her in the hospital 11 days. And nobody had a fucking clue what we had. It was, I feel for all you people who had to deal with COVID in the beginning, when nobody knew what it was, I feel for all y'all. We should be suing everybody's ass out of existence for that. Yeah, because that was just bullshit. No, they just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and then the whole fiasco with the vaccines too. I mean, there should be. I mean, and I think they knew that. I think that's kind of why they threw us all those $2,000 and $3,000 checks during the whole COVID thing, was because they knew the vaccine was going to fuck everybody up.
Well, I don't know. Mess with some people, didn't mess with some people. I took the Johnson & Johnson one. Yeah, the traditional one. Yeah. No, the only side effects that one had was it gave some women in their late 30s and early 40s heart attacks when mixed with their pregnancy medicine, to keep them from getting pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So that, other than that, though, it didn't mess with anything else. The RMI and A shit, it's what it is. Did it save everybody? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you. All I can tell you is it worked for some people and it didn't work for other people. But that's not uncommon for a vaccine. So, and that's why there's such strict rules on vaccines. Once one's accepted by the FDA, you can only sue for a limited amount of money. So, in other words, if you got the vaccine from one of the companies that would have got you really bad, or somebody in your family really bad before, when it was still in trials, you could sue the bejesus out of them. But once it was accepted, no, there's limit. Yeah, I didn't know it. One of my Canadian friends beat me in the head with it one night in a debate. She said, "Oh yeah, you can only," and she was right too. I was like, "Son of a bitch, you should be able to sue your brains out when something like that happens." But no, it's not how it is. Michelle Obama and Barack Obama have been together since 1992. That's all. What is that? 34 years? Wow. Oh, yeah. I mean, look at her. She's a sexy beast, man. Jay's going to propose to her.
No, I find her to be vile. The very, very first, I think maybe I can find it on Facebook, on YouTube maybe, but the very first sentence out of her mouth on inauguration day for Obama was, she said, "America, your children are fat."
Yeah, America, your children are fat.
She's an ass.
She was pretty chunky herself, but
she's gotten chunkier now. Look at her.
Yeah, it says Michelle Obama admits she wishes Barack were different and fuels rocky marriage rumors. So, well, you know what? Get the fucking divorce. I actually would like to see you get divorced because he might do something cool, and you'll stay out of politics. And if you do get in, you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because would he endorse his ex-wife, or would he be a dick about it? Ooh, I don't know. That would be a good one to find out. What else is in here? Was this the what is this? What is this?
What does it say?
Oh, this is the one about the drugs. I don't know. There's one of them that has all the stats about how everything is down since he came in. The media won't carry it.
Oh, yeah.
Crime is way the fuck down. Overdoses and drug abuse is way the fuck down.
Yeah, they showed some charts on that today. I saw, like, for it was Will Kane. For Washington, D.C., it was like 45% decrease in crime since the National Guard went through there.
Well,
and it's still there.
Yeah, these are nationwide stats like this one. Overdose deaths are down 21% nationwide. That's fucking phenomenal.
That's pretty good too.
Oh wait, Pam Bondi's here. Maybe she'll tell us what's going on. Hold on, let's see. I'm in the wrong one, I guess. Let's go back and look. Oh, Jackie, sometimes Facebook lets you jump from jumping. Hey, how you doing? And sometimes they're a pain in the ass about what they want to let you do and what they won't let you do. No, I'm not hating it, just the way the system works.
Oh.
And it's all Jay's fault anyway.
Floppity.
We're blaming it on Jay. It sounds good to me. Okay, let's see. Let's go here. And let's go back here. Let's go back here. How much of my footage is? All right, let's see what she's got to say.
Drilling?
11.5 kilos of fentanyl, including an astounding
Kilos, 2.5
approximately
pounds, right?
3 million fentanyl pills. The largest
3
seizure in
million.
our nation's history. These are the pills in the bags right there.
3 million.
The main bottom right, the head of this organization, Sinaloa organization, here in the country illegally, 6 of these guys and women here in the country illegally. His name is Alberto Salazar Amaya. He is the leader, and he was living in Salem, Oregon. With him, they got millions of dollars, cash, cars, but the drugs were in Albuquerque, Phoenix, and Utah. That's how insulated these drug dealer cartel leaders make themselves. This was an incredible operation. That's why I wanted all of you here behind me. It took months and months of work, investigation, leading up to smaller buys, smaller cases to get this massive amount of drugs and guns off our streets. $5 million approximately in cash.
Wow.
35 kilos of methamphetamine. 35 kilos.
It's 70 pounds.
Of meth. 7.5 kilos of cocaine, 4.5 kilos of heroin, 49 rifles and pistols, all shown in the pictures. And then, of course, the 3 million pills. These pills were stamped as oxycodone. Let that sink in. 3 million pills going on our streets. 3 million pills, the streets of our country, laced with fentanyl, labeled as oxycodone. And they were in all different strengths of fentanyl within them.
They might have been selling.
This operation was made possible by over 55,000 hours of law enforcement investigation. And this is a really dangerous job that these DEA agents face every day, but they are getting very dangerous drugs
like the
off
biggest
of our
drug bust in the
streets
country
each
if
day.
they ever.
Yeah. You got to wonder, was these drugs,
Of mass
were they
destruction.
sent out to be captured
Fentanyl.
so that another larger
And
shipment
when
can
we
go around
catch
another
you,
way?
like all of these individuals, if convicted, we will put you behind bars. There will be no negotiating, and we will lock you up for as long as humanly possible. We will not negotiate with those who are killing our family members, including brothers, sisters, daughters, sons, parents, friends. Everyone in this room, I guarantee you, knows someone who has been afflicted with drug addiction, and many who have known someone who has lost a loved one because of this trash on our streets. The precursors are made in China. It was sent to Mexico and came right in our country. And again, 6 of these individuals were here illegally. That won't shock you. And we're running a massive, massive drug operation.
But that should shock you.
This kind of success doesn't happen without extraordinary leadership. And I want to personally thank my friend, DEA Principal Deputy Administrator Rob Murphy, DEA El Paso Division Chief Agent in Charge Omar Arellano. I'm killing your name, Omar. Omar, okay. And U.S. Attorney, where's Ryan? Ryan Ellison. I also want to thank again the brave men and women of law enforcement. Last week, I joined them at a DEA laboratory, and we went there, and it was truly remarkable what we saw, how quickly these cartels can manufacture and make fentanyl powder and put it into these pills. But people need to know, parents need to know, kids need to know, this fentanyl, this bust, these 3 million pills were oxycodone. They put this in Xanax. They put this in Adderall. They put this in Molly, the date drug or the party drug, something called Molly. They put it in cocaine, and they put it in marijuana. And it is to get you so highly addicted that you can't get off it. 75,000 Americans are dying each year because of fentanyl. 75,000.
I like it.
And that's why this is so important today. You've got to spread the word. If you know anyone who is taking any recreational drugs, they need to be extremely careful because there is a very high likelihood it could be laced with fentanyl. And that's one of the reasons 75,000 Americans are losing their lives each day. It is the #1 cause of death for individuals between 18 and 34 in our country.
Hear that, people? Buy your weed from the dispensaries.
More seizures are coming. More arrests are coming. I guarantee you that. And these dealers, these sellers, these street level sellers better look out because we will not be negotiating with you. We will bring you to justice.
We love you, Pammy. So let's look at this. So she put a pretty good hit on it. I like what you said, though. Could have been a ruse. And, it would have been a good way to go if Trump wouldn't have been blowing up so much of their shit down there. This probably hurt him because this was probably pre-made money in the United States, 3 million printed pills. So oxycodone, I mean, it could be any pill, Vicodin, Percocet. I mean, anything.
Well, I mean, it doesn't say oxycodone on them. What they do is there's a code. Certain pills are like, if you look on the side of any bottle, if you have a prescription at home, go look on the side of the bottle, take the pill out. On the side of the bottle, it'll say the pill is, round or tablet or.
Yeah, but it's not even that. I
capsule.
mean, the pill itself. So if you use a pill identifier for any pill, just take the pill, take it out, look at it, tell you what's on the pill, tell you what kind of pill it is. That's what they're doing. That's what she's identifying the pill. It's stamped. It's stamped as probably not Percocet. It's a real popular one. It's
I don't
not
know, free probably.
No, this is not with fentanyl in it. This is what the hell they call them? Oh, my wife was on it for a while too.
Hold on, so it could be OxyContin.
Yeah, it's not the Percocet side, it's the Vicodin side. But each one comes from a different type of drug, Jack. Yeah. What do you mean? I've taken a lot of pain pills in my life. I've busted up a lot of shit over my time. And you know what? I managed not to get hooked on the bitches.
Well, the thing is if it's marked, as X, like let's just say it's a Percocet and it's a 5-35, which is a pretty powerful pill. You're expecting that will probably knock your ass out for about 7 to 9 hours. But there's also the unknown factor of the fentanyl, which will probably kill your ass in 11.
Yeah. Well, when I take Percocets, they're usually 10-10. So, well, no, Jack. One is the actual painkiller. The other one is it antihistamine or is it ibuprofen? I get them confused. Yeah, that's actually in the pill too, and that's what the other one.
Ibuprofen is probably not in it. It's probably acetaminophen.
Yeah, probably acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen seems to mix with most of the narcotics and a lot of the opiates without.
I think because I think it just mixes better.
It's aspirin, ibuprofen have problems with those opiates. They don't mix well.
Nobody, ibuprofen.
Same thing with Toradol. Toradol doesn't mix well with analgesics. Like
my doctor tell you every day that ibuprofen is bad for you. It's bad for your heart.
Yeah.
Tylenol is actually good for your heart. Yeah, don't ask me why.
And so
nothing taken in large amounts.
Excedrin is basically just Tylenol with aspirin added into it.
Yeah. None of them are good for your heart if you take them, too many of them.
And well, neither are good for your liver either.
Yeah, well, that's definitely true. Well, so Pam, we love you for doing a good bust out there. 3 million fentanyl pills. So man, that's
Jesus Christ.
I wonder what they're getting for them, about $5 a pill, $10 a pill.
Probably less than that if they want to kill people.
No, those are sounding. Somebody's trying to make pills legit. They're trying to get a recurring business is what they're doing.
Yeah, I guess
that's exactly what that is. More than likely, they're probably 5.5s is what they are, and they're probably getting $5 to $10 a pill for them. Which so $1 would be $3 million. What is $5? 15 million. $10, $30 million for them 3 million pills. It's a lot of money, my friend.
A lot.
Plus 5 million in cash. And wait, we're not even talking about what was there? 8 kilos of fentanyl, 35 kilos of meth. And on and on. Now, when you get right down to it, I remember when I was a kid, when I used to bust marijuana, whole barges full. Yeah. Not pounds, tons. Yeah. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, they fucked up one time. and they were burning they had just confiscated a barge of this stuff, and they were burning it in this field out in New Orleans East. Well, I was going to a private school out there, and guess what was right next to the field? Before they realized what was going on, the whole school was full of smoke, and every kid there got their first marijuana high. Ooh, not just us, all the teachers, everybody. Oh, it was a disaster, yeah. I was just sitting there chilling. I was like, what is this about? I met some little girl. We were making out on the thing. I was like 12 or something. Yeah, maybe 13, 12, 13, somewhere around there. Yeah, it was just somebody fucked up. I guess they had burnt it the day before, but they must have done it on a weekend or something. And, or maybe it's just the way the wind shifted, but it was a lot. I mean, it was like 10 tons of weed. And then they got in trouble because people were going in and digging out of the middle of it and selling it as black African or diesel weed.
Yeah.
There was a big problem with it. I didn't smoke back then. No. And I've smoked weed on and off in my life, just like drinking my entire life. Well, because I don't always need to be high. Sometimes I like just being Joe. Yes, the guy who likes getting in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, we got kind of lucky in the 80s in that same respect. We had I won't say who. One of our friends was close to someone who was an ambassador to a place where they make Temple Ball hash, and they got some across for us. And my friends and I, we went in on one quarter each. We bought we 28 grams. We each got what is 28 grams comes out to what do we get a quarter out of that, quarter ounce. It was like $80, but Jesus Christ, the stuff would knock you out.
Let's see, what's this girl got to say? Oh, girls own more houses than men. I can see that. They're good at buying, plus they're good at getting it. What a bitch.
So you heard Trump is saying that he announced that there's a deadline. Well, so what do you think the deadline is for this Greenland deal?
Oh, I don't know. With Trump, if
it has something to do with something less than 2 weeks.
He won't say nothing until he starts getting aggravated. If he's got things to do, he won't worry about it unless you don't see what he's looking for.
He seems to have a well laid out agenda. I mean, he's doing things in a specific order.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he definitely is. What's this one?
What you got? Something good?
Well, that doesn't surprise. Oh, here we go. One of our favorite guys.
Are you throwing something up because it's not up?
Yeah, I don't either, John. But apparently, we got here some weirdos. No, they don't care. Nobody cares. Oh, wait, here's our guy again. What's he up to?
It's not presenting, Joe. You got to throw it up here so we can put it up.
How cool. What the hell is this? Oh wait, what is this shit? Oh, bitch. No, Jack, we only got 1, 2 more of these, I think. Yes, you tell him, sweetie pie. This little chick here, she's nuts hard.
Joe, we can't see anything.
No,
If you are trying to share something, it's not up.
This weird thing. Oh, 1 second. Oh, there we go. I can find where I'm at now. Jesus, I got lost all over the place. What's that, Jack? End of the world as we know it. Yeah, I kind of feel that way some days. It's let me see something. No, I was gonna play some clips, but I wanted to see what we got left on here before we get out of here. It's where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go, Jackson Brown? Yeah, let's go and edit and look, maybe I'll cheat. Yes, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's when we talked about earlier when the father fled, the immigration thing.
Yeah, 5-year-old kid. Well, but also, did you hear about what happened with that same 5-year-old? That they're not really talking up about? He had non-surgical sutures in his abdomen and had to be woken. Oh no, this might be another one. Yeah, okay. So the 5-year-old kid was found on the street. The other 5-year-old kid, they had to wake up because he was muling drugs in non-surgical sutures within his abdomen. So some of it leaked into him and put him to sleep. Lucky he didn't die.
People are just fucking wackos, I swear. Yeah, people are.
Well, first of all, they had to take that kid to a hospital and take the drugs out and then stitch him back up with a professional, stitch job.
Yeah, and they probably knew they would get in double trouble for that. No, let's see, the Olympia. No, that's the one we talked about earlier. He was smuggling drugs. He got busted. One of the GOPs almost screwed up and got their power shut down because they weren't there on time. Well, that would have been great. Jay's favorite guy in New York is pushing for free health care. I mean, free child care. I'm sorry.
What is that idiot thinking?
It's free child care. That's what he's saying, man. I'll give you all free child care. He's not able to give him free nothing yet. So Avatar director flees for New Zealand after pandemic response. I must have missed something here. I'm going to have to go look that up. No, it just says Avatar director flees America for saying New Zealand after pandemic response. He must have said something about the pandemic he shouldn't have, which I have no idea what that could be at these time points. Oh, Jay's other favorite person, James Carvell. He's such a nut. He's always dressed in LSU clothes. He's a crazy.
He's like the political Hunter S. Thompson, but he doesn't smoke weed.
I know.
Or if he does, he's an asshole.
He needs to smoke some. It says.
Or needs to smoke some. Yeah. All right.
He points out 2 hot takes on Crockett. He says would sink her in an election. Yeah. A lot of people are already asking her to step down from the party, saying all you're doing is fucking up our chances of winning that Senate seat.
I don't see how she got elected in the first place. She is stupid.
She is,
and extremely. She's extremely bigoted.
But the problem is, I don't think she's that stupid. I mean, she went to all private schools.
It doesn't make you smart. It just makes you rich.
But usually, if you're in private schools, you pick up something. Because they're generally their curriculum.
He didn't seem to get any.
I don't know. I know every private school I went to, their curriculum was much harder than any fucking public school I went to. Jesus. No, it was like night and day. I'll tell you, so this is so weird. I was in private school and we were moving back a good ways back. So I said, so I was in a public school. In the first 90 days, I was like, they were giving me shit I had literally had 2 years earlier. I was like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. This is gonna be a breeze. And then 6 months in, the fucking teachers went on strike. And we were doing multiple question subtraction and multiplication. These are in 11th grade we're talking about. So I took the Mensa exam just to see where I scored. Did really well. And then they suggested that I take the ASVAB for the Navy, which the first time I didn't score but like a 40 because I was so hungover I couldn't even see the boxes to count them. But the second time I took it, I scored a 98, which is outrageously high.
Jeez.
And I was accepted. So I said, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. I said, I'm going. And the guy's like, what? I said, because the teacher strike went on for almost a year. So that means that my whole sophomore year, no, whatever year is your 11th grade, would have sucked. And I would have learned absolutely shit. And then, and then our senior year, we'd have been all doubling up on shit, which I probably already had because I went to private school. It's, no, I was lucky. And when I say private, it wasn't always private. Sometimes it was Catholic. Even though Catholics have good curriculums, they're not always the easiest schools to go to. Shh, don't tell anybody. More shit over them freaking nuns, man. I remember I got like 8 licks one day because I beat up a 5th grade. I was only in 3rd grade at the time. And because he beat up this kid, he took the kid's snack pack. If you there were little cans of pudding back then, is what they were. And he took it, and I got pissed, beat up the kid. And then we became super friends because he used to break the snap thing off of it all the time, and I would take the bottom of the fence and open the can up. He was like, "Wow, you're so cool." I was like, "Yeah, sure, dude." Oh, it's all kind of stuff. And then I was in that same school. Like 5 kids jumped me in the bathroom. I was in 3rd grade because I beat up that one 5th grader. Yeah, they were trying to beat me up. I don't know what exactly happened. Somebody hit a pipe, water broke, and we went to slip sliding away. It was a nightmare. Yeah, everybody got suspended. It was one of those things. Let's see. Iran denies Trump's announcement that he canceled hundreds of planned executions. Bullshit, Ayatollah. Suck my ass. You know you did. Don DeSantis slams 57 Republicans who voted to keep government kill switch for cars. Wait, what?
Huh?
You ain't put no kill switch in my car, motherfucker.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You know how dangerous that is? Turn a car off, someone's doing 60 miles an hour, they're going to kill themselves.
Yeah, no. So we'll see where that all goes. Well, that'll end up in front of the Supreme Court. Don't even worry about that, Jack. Because kill switches shouldn't be anybody's car. They don't even need them anymore. You haven't seen them little things they got now? They shoot out from underneath the squad car. It's a little EMP pulse. It rolls underneath your car. Psst, and your car just goes, oh. That's what it does. It slows you down a little. It slows you down a little slower than a kill switch would. And you got to be careful with some of these new fancy dancy digital cars. You start flipping switches inside the computer, bitch, all kinds of stuff might go crazy. Well, think about this, Jack. Does your car actually steer? I mean, when you steer your car, are you actually steering your car, or is it being steered by wire?
It's a combination of gears and a computer-controlled power assist drive, almost in all cases.
So out of the new cars now have rack and pinion steering, all that wonderful stuff, but there's a disconnect between the steering wheel and the steering box, and that is all handled electronically. Just like when you flapped your wings on a jet. In the old days, they were handled by what? Hydraulics. And today they're handled by what? It's called fly-by-wire. I don't like that, people. I like knowing my steering wheel is connected to something that's connected to me. Just because, fly-by-wire, I mean, what happens? You get EMP'd, you can't even steer your car.
Yep.
Is it going to have a default that it goes to? And just, I don't know. I don't know, people. Right now I'm driving a Camry, and it's I think this one's rack and pinion or something like it. Because the steer, it's tight. When they're full steering like that, full automated steering, they get looser. This one's tight, and it's got 240,000 miles on it. It's tight. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got front end alignments on it, but still, that's not why it's tight. It's the way it's made. Yes. You're talking about, I can go back and forth on front wheel drive all day long. Yeah, I don't like the fact that they go out like you start hearing that click, click, click sound. Your drive's on its way out. It's the same for rear wheel drive. It's just a drive shaft with a set of bushings at each end. On the front wheel drive, you just got on each tire. You've got, depending on if it's a single drive or dual drive or four wheel drive.
Yeah, but the funny thing about that, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, if your car starts to slip, and just because you have four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive doesn't mean you're not going to slip, but sometimes you do. When you do, what that means is you have four wheels that are powered that are also slipping. So it's a lot harder to control in a ice or snow slide.
Well, four-wheel drive in a Jeep and four-wheel drive in your car are two different things. They're the same thing, but they're two different things. So put this in perspective. The little four-wheel rev I used to have drove good. I even pulled the truck out the mud with it one time. It's got big old 17-inch tires on it. And it was an older model, the kind with the racks and stuff. But no, it was like a buggy car. So the original RAV4s, you could actually go underneath the fins and adjust the wheel to raise them and shorten them yourself. And that was designed so if they got in hilly places with rocks and stuff they needed to climb, you could adjust your wheel so you could climb over the rocks in these cars. And it had true four-wheel drive. It didn't have all-wheel drive. Yeah, all-wheel drive is not the same as true four-wheel drive. Well, on all-wheel drive, all four wheels are turning, but two wheels seem to get more power than the other two do. You don't have to take my word for it. Just go get in some mud and punch the car and see what happens. It's gonna want to go. On all-wheel drive, it don't do. On four-wheel drive, it don't do that. It's you're talking about letting go of the steering wheel and hoping the steering wheel comes back. Okay. I don't want to get anybody killed. On some cars, and I can't even tell you which ones they are anymore. On some cars that have what they call autocorrect steering, you could steer the steering wheel all the way one direction, and when you let go, it would autocorrect itself back to straight. I haven't seen a car like that in a long time, and they were older cars. And I'm not even sure if that was actually what was going on. I don't know. I haven't seen one in a while, but no, I do remember it. I remember hearing about it a lot. Okay, wait, where are we at? Federal government appeals on court. Trump admins. So they're letting him throw people out from Colombia now. Well, they're activists, so he's letting them out. So everybody was saying how Joe Rogan had started hating Trump and he was against ICE. Rogan says ICE raids are necessary after years of Dems' open border policies. I guess y'all were wrong about Joe Rogan. I did hear that the Syrian government's having some troubles, some internal things, just trying to get day-to-day operations together. Running a country is not going to be an easy thing to do, especially since all you've been doing is fighting the war. U.S. military strikes suspected narco-terrorist vessel in Eastern Pacific. Eastern Pacific? The fuck we blowing up in the Eastern Pacific?
Yeah, where? Where exactly?
It said Eastern Pacific.
It doesn't give us any kind of.
Okay, let me get this straight in my head. So you're on the west coast in California, but if you're in the ocean, California is going to be the Eastern Pacific.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily California, but somewhere over there. Must be coming out of Mexico. It doesn't say though. Narco terrorists. Twin Cities museums slam their doors and take to the streets to hate on ICE.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
J.D. Vance schooled rude Minnesotan college professor, then laughed about it on the social media. It sounds about like J.D. Oh, man. Arizona influencer kidnapped in a cartel hotspot after chilling ambush caught on video. Really cute little girl, too.
What?
Yeah.
Show it.
No, I mean, I don't have this girl in here. I seen it earlier. That's how I knew she's cute.
No, I thought you said video. I was going to say, well, yeah, go throw
I
it
didn't
up there.
I didn't look at the video because it might have been, let's just say, bad for you. I mean, there's a drug cartel stealing a little girl. Well, a teenage girl or a young girl. Dan Bongino shreds media idiots for downplaying historic drop in crime violence. So I thought this guy had already left the FBI. What's he still doing talking?
Yeah, who knows?
Because I heard him today saying something. I was kind of like, shouldn't you be out of this, dude? You stepped out and said this was too much for you, big boy. You couldn't wear your big boy pants. You had to put on your little boy pants. And leave. And I wonder who, what's his name's going to replace him with. The guy with the weird eyes, man. The dude weirds me out. The guy with the weird eyes. I don't know who the guy with the weird eyes. He runs the FBI, people. Cash Patel.
Oh, Cash Patel, yeah.
Yeah, look at his eyes.
He's not as weird looking as that representative. I think he's from Ohio, but he's Indian also. He's really strange looking.
Tom Emmer blasts Minnesota Democrats after totally unacceptable church disruption. So Democrats, I'm confused by this church thing. You bitch because you don't want ICE going into church. You bitch because you don't want them going to stores. You bitch because you don't want them going here, and then you go do it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay. So Greg Bongino, he's now the current head of ICE. He described that syndrome as DSP, double standard phenomenon. And we've been seeing that with the Democratic Party. They'll do something and then they'll blame what they did on someone else and then act like whatever happened was like, it's a double standard phenomenon. They do it all the time. They're doing it right now all the time. Like it's way in the, and people are starting to see the pattern. I think they're,
more and more people
really,
call on that.
Really getting bad vibes off the Democrats.
But see, right now, ABC, NBC, and CBS are trying to stoke the fires for 2026, like with all this ICE hate and all this other stuff. But first off, it's too early. I don't know why they're doing it so early. And secondly, by the time we get there, we'll just be quoting what's been done. And looks like prices on food will be coming down by then too.
Well, yeah, but I think also we have several investigations going on right now based on the ICE threat levels going up and on the Somalian welfare scandal in Minnesota. I have a feeling that those Waltz and whatever that idiot mayor's name is will be up on charges, perhaps even in jail by midterms.
Yeah, we can only hope. I
think they're at least going to be under. But they're under investigation. I have a feeling they're going to be under arrest very, very soon, within the next couple of weeks.
Well, maybe some of these Somalis will roll on Waltz.
No, I don't think they will. The Somalians seem to be very, very arrogant, stupid people who continue to lie even when they're caught red-handed. I mean, they can literally be like, hand in the cookie jar. I didn't take anything. Yeah, well, your hand's still in there, motherfucker. Take it out.
Well, you're going to jail for sure, then, dumbass. Let's see. Former British Prime Minister urges Trump to dismantle UN, citing international bodies' bad decisions. I'm all for that. I think the UN needs it.
Do we need NATO and UN?
Well, no, they're two different things.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Do we need both?
But I mean, NATO is just for the defense of this group of countries. The United Nations is for everybody. It's supposed to do a job and take care of everybody.
We don't want to hang out with our friends.
But they fucked up. When they gave China and Russia a veto vote, they fucked up. That's all there is to it. I mean, because anything that's good, they're going to veto. And of course, anything they're going to put out, we're going to veto.
Even if it's a bad thing, China will veto just to be contrary.
Well, so
whatever we say, they'll do the opposite.
And we do the same thing ourselves. So, I mean, you're not getting anything done. The system doesn't work. It needs to be redesigned. And okay, and you want to do veto, fine, but if the chamber is 70% or 75% votes yes, and fuck, you don't get to veto it. It's not how it works. Or you get the one veto, and the second time you don't get to veto it, regardless. Yeah. But you know, so it can make progress. But the way it's set up right now, it doesn't. Oh, Jesse, don't get me started on UN. I got a lot of friends that are involved with the UN, and they drive me fucking nuts with that place because they don't do anything. And right now, the leaders of the UN are anti-American. So we got to contend with that kind of crap.
Yep.
Because the rest of the world hasn't even caught up to where Europe and the United States is. So you've got Europe, you got 800 million people on this planet that are really living where the height of where we should be living. And you've got 7,200,000,000 not. What the fuck do you do with that? And it's not even that it's not. We could say another 2 billion are getting close, and we can add them into our 800 million. So that's, we'll just say round it up to 3 billion. That still leaves 5 billion people that are still living like we were 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All it does is drag the rest of society down. If we don't figure out a way to help bring them up to speed, it's going to drag us back to them. And right now, we don't seem to be making any real headway. We need a united planet so this bullshit will stop. We can't have all these different mixed rules and different laws for all these different countries. We can't be letting people just going around raping, stealing children, and killing. We just can't.
And again, I keep saying part of the stop to that, or part of the hurdle for that, is some of these extreme religious legal systems, Sharia law, and other things that propose those kind of things. This is what they're allowed to do, and it's like their culture. Like it's reprehensible. I mean, I don't understand why the whole rest of the world hasn't at one point just stood up and said, "Hey, look, you have Sharia law. You got 30 days. Stop it. If not, we're all walking into your country. We're going to beat the snot out of everybody who's not."
And what's fucking scary about that is 7 of the countries in the Middle East used to be free countries, and now they're Sharia law.
Yeah, and then Sharia law.
So it's time for that to get
Iran is one of them.
Yeah, Iran was one day. You can go back and look at the late 70s and all. They're discoing out there, looking great. Everybody's got their shit together. They look like any fucking American or European kid anywhere. It's not just them. The same way in Somalia was in like 9 countries over there, and we let them go to shit by not getting involved. But it's mainly because there's always us in Russia. Russia wants it to be like this, and we want it to be like that. Somewhere along the line, we just have to take a harder stance and say, "Look, Russia, it's not going to be the way you want it, and fuck you. And if you keep it up, we're going to wipe you from the face of the motherfucking planet." And I think Trump told that to China just recently. He said, "Look, you can just keep it up, and we're just going to go to war, and there ain't going to be no China left. You'll get squished between the bear and the eagle." Of course, Notre Dame says the eagle gets squished between the bear and the whatever it was called.
Well, the bear is Russia. The eagle is America. What's the other?
Whatever the China was. I can't remember what it was. It's out of my head now for some reason.
Dragon, maybe? I don't know.
No, it was just some regular everyday thing, but it's went out of my head for some reason. But they said that's what incited, but you have to remember who wrote this. So the bear probably isn't Russia.
Who then?
I don't know. Maybe somebody hasn't even come around yet. In America, we identify as the eagle, but we could easily be called the bear. I mean, fuck, after all, we got grizzlies and fucking polar bears and black bears and fucking brown bears all over the fucking place. So, I mean, I don't even think Russia has polar bears. Oh, they've got to it. They're great time.
No, they do. Way up, yeah. Well, they do.
It's I'm just saying, Jack. I mean, we want to interpret that way in the modern. Yeah, it was the Great Yellow Horde. So originally they said that America got squished, or that was the original saying, and then us and Russia came back against China and wiped them out of existence, and then built the space fleet and went exploring the space. And that's how Nostradamus talks about it. In the World War III is what finally straightened the planet out and made us one world government. It's not that hard to do. Give the U.S. complete military control of all military on the planet, and then let everybody go to start doing their thing. Let's start building homes. Let's build science. You won't need to have to dump all that money. You could just keep the regular price on military right now at what it is and take all the rest of the money, the other $1 trillion that's being spent, and put it into maybe cancer research or exploration of deep space, exploration of Mars, building colonies off world. I mean, we would develop so fast it would be scary. Along assisted with AI in 100 years, you wouldn't even recognize this planet. You fucking wouldn't recognize Mars. But as long as we're fighting each other, and we have to spend resources on building armies and it's not just the weapons, people. So if you're going to do this, you got to maintain. Russia's got to maintain an army of 2 million people and all its equipment. China's got to do the same thing. We got to do the same. That's a lot of money, and that's not included in your yearly budget. That's just maintenance. Nada. The U.S.'s R&D's $850 billion isn't for upkeep of keeping everything going. That's a separate budget. That's all money that could be going into saving us. I don't want to say saving the planet, because the planet's fine, but saving us. I would imagine and it's not just the money, Jack. So now you've got $1 trillion to work on cancer, but you've got the 25 top leading scientists in the world, cancer researchers, working together for the first time.
But I don't think they're challenged. We had the top scientists in the 60s working on the space program, and then Kennedy came out and went boom, and he threw down the ante. He said, let's do this in 10 years. They got
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you'll
actually
have
6.
You'll have the Russian top leader in cancer, the guy from the Ukraine, the guy from China. All these top scientists that are top in their field, in their country, will now be working together. And there'll be competition between them to see who the best is. It's a scenario that, frankly, we've never seen on this planet. And if we ever get it, you'll cure things at a rate. Even main science says it will cure rate at 100 times the rate we do today.
Yeah, which is where we should have been all along.
Yeah, so knowing that means is, people will be extending their lifespans 200, 300, 400, 500 years within 100 years or less.
Maybe even less, yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially if, you keep talking about, and I keep bringing it up, the Johnson & Johnson de-aging pill.
Yeah. Well, so Johnson & Johnson came up with a way to stop your telomeres, basically. And then they came up...
Not just stop them, but to grow them back.
And to grow them back. So then they came up with a way. So they give you this one pill and it stops your telomeres. They give you this other pill that basically I forgot how he said,
it lengthens them.
Well, it reignites them is how the term he used. And then they grow. But as they grow, you de-age. So it'll actually take, if depending on what it is and how old you are, you can easily find yourself looking 20 or 30 years younger. And now that your telomeres are in control, you won't age anymore.
I'd like to take that pill.
Well, Bob, you think about it, you'll have the body of a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old with the education, with the knowledge of a 70-year-old.
What's the old Joan Rivers joke? I have the body of or the mind of an 80-year-old, but the body of a teenager. And she'd always say, well, if we put the body back, you're wrinkling it. Give the body back to the teenager, you're wrinkling it.
That's right. Rivers was insane. Yeah, she really was. No, we get ready to go because we got to go here, but because we got to go. But actually, well, you know what? There is one left. Hold on. Russia, Ukraine to discuss territory as Trump says both sides want to make a deal. Okay, that was the last one.
That sounds good.
So we'll see what happens, guys. There's no,
Well,
I'm not. When it comes to Trump and him, I'm not taking any. I'm not making any bets on them idiots.
We should probably start the pool right now. If Trump gets Greenland and Venezuela and Cuba without igniting World War III, and he turns off the Ukraine war, we should take a pool now of whether or not he gets the Nobel Peace Prize. And if he does get it, does he tell them, "Fuck you, I'm not taking it"?
You ain't never getting the Peace Prize. They hate that motherfucker. I don't know what it is. They hate that motherfucker with a passion.
It seems to be a worldwide phenomenon.
Well, it's just liberals, though. Yeah, but it's just liberals, though. It's nobody else.
Well, no, I think it's the media. The media is perpetrating this fraud on this man all the way across the planet.
And what is the media? 80% of the media is what? Liberals.
I guess so.
That's what it is. And this is a consorted group. This just shows you how much the media had been working together for how long now.
It shows you how deep the indoctrination has gone.
But it shows you that American media is getting its ass shook around and slapped around, which is causing other media to reevaluate.
Yeah.
I see BBC's pulling some of their crap, and I still ain't seen no new Doctor Who's anywhere.
Yeah.
No, Jamie, we're out of here in a couple of minutes. Why? I did. Linda and I watched it the other night. We watched 2 episodes of it anyway. Star Trek Academy, yeah.
Oh, did you watch it?
Watched 2 episodes of it. It's in the Discovery universe. Yes.
It's after the Discovery universe, isn't it?
No, it's in the Discovery universe. They actually, in one of the episodes, they actually wanted to call Discovery, but she was in the middle of a refit. Yes. You'll probably even see some Discovery people show up from time to time.
Yeah. I thought it was after that, because the way they mark the timeline as being that the Federation has been destroyed at some point. We don't know the story on that. There was something called the burn.
Yeah, that's Discovery. That's the whole Discovery thing.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
but it's after that. Yeah, it's after all that. It's not.
So what happens in Discovery is, because it's not real Star Trek and they were getting shit for taking so many liberties, they shot them into the 30th century.
Yeah.
And that's where they are. That's where Discovery is. They're in the 30th or 31st century. They're wherever the doctors, whatchamacallit, came from. So that's they started a whole nother
way in the future. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's not
the same time frame. It's the same. Yeah.
No, it's in the Discovery time frame. That's what it is. It's Discovery's there.
But Discovery came from Spock's time, Spock and Kirk's time.
Yeah,
they're in the future.
Came from.
They're in the future.
Well, they're not anymore. They're not. They're just where they are. It was the future when they left. Now it's just
Starfleet Academy is in the future. It's like 200 years after Picard.
Well, which was the series.
Hey,
no,
Google.
The series. No. The original Academy was there.
Before or after Captain Picard?
Well, before. You don't remember Boothby? That should be enough for you right there.
32nd century.
Yeah, Boothby was at the Academy. He was the groundskeeper guy that not just Picard knew. What's her face from Voyager knew her.
Yeah.
The guy from Deep Space Nine knew. A bunch of people knew who he was. Everybody, they all came from that part of the Academy.
He was from a long-lived species. Yeah.
So from the day that the Federation was founded, there was an Academy, and then the burn came, and when the burn came, there was nothing. So the burn was some guy somewhere is freaked out, and everything that had lithium in it, if it was running at the time, it exploded. Whether it was on ground, on a ship. So every Starfleet, not just Starfleet, every ship that ran on dilithium, if it was active at the time, exploded. So it pretty much wiped out all of known space. And the only thing they had left was the ships that weren't running, and they couldn't go because there was no dilithium anymore. It had all been burnt out and destroyed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's no faster than light travel anymore after that, until Discovery comes along with its sperm drive. I'm sorry.
It's mycelium.
It's a sperm drive.
Yeah, mycelium. Basically mushrooms, magic mushrooms.
So the ship travels on magic mushrooms. Jay's not lying. It really does. And anyway, it gets there. So it starts popping around because it can get around. And then it finds the guy who caused the problem, the kid that caused the problem. And then they started finding the lithium and bringing it to races that hadn't been part of the Federation. Matter of fact, this episode on one of the episodes I'm watched yesterday from the new one. They're trying to get the what's her name's race to come back. The telepath.
The Beta Zeds.
The Beta Zeds. They're trying to get them to come back. And anyway, so y'all, I don't want to lose, spoil it for y'all. People go watch it. If I had to rate it, I'd give it like a 7, only because I'd give it a better rating, but it's in the Discovered Universe, and the Discovered Universe is bullshit. So, because it's not real, it doesn't exist. Well, we know the 30th century was there because we know the doctor got his whatchamacallit from there. His mobile emitter came from there. So we know it existed, and we know who it was. What's his name went into the 30th century from Enterprise? Scott Bakula.
Archer. Captain Archer.
Archer, yeah. So that's 2 times. So we know it was there, even though it was wiped out when Archer went, but for a different reason. So it was put back together. So what the fuck is going on? And where are all these time traveling guys at when this other shit went down?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot of funky monkey stuff that went on. And then if you remember Discovery from day one, you remember she started the Vulcan War. No, that's not how the Vulcan War started. No, we know it's all canon. And you start fucking around canon, you just start pissing people off and they stop watching. So Discovery was losing its viewership, and that's why they jumped into the future, because then you can say it's Star Trek because nothing's happened. You can just say whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, and you can do all kinds of sorts of stuff because you're in the future.
Yeah, you're not tied to what's already happened. You can rewrite anything, really, basically.
But when you're tied to the canon, you got to be careful. Even Star Wars isn't big enough to get away from canon. It just doesn't work.
In the annals of, you have to think like Hollywood. They want that franchise to make money. They want to be able to take that idea, that concept, and just kill it until it makes no more money. And that's really, I mean, it's kind of sad. They just keep recycling the same old crap. So, but then they get stuck, in the series, especially when they go 3, 4, 5 seasons long. They're like, oh, what do we do? Oh, time travel. Boom. Saves. It's the best goddamn plot saving device that they could ever
we've
save
seen what
a Hollywood
saved
franchise.
What saved Avengers was multiple dimensions. Yeah, that's what saved it.
And magic, if you will, the gauntlet and a snap.
Yeah, I really can't. I know I liked Galaxy Quest. Fuck you. I thought Galaxy Quest was fine. I don't know why they fucked up the third when he don't have a girlfriend no more, but hey, whatever. Oh no, I seen that. You mean the Christmas one? That's funny. Yeah, would they go back and get Patrick Spacey or somebody go back from?
Oh, they go back and get Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon, that's who it was. Yeah, they go back and get him.
Yeah, they snatch him. It's hilarious.
It was. It's funny as fuck. It's no, it's like 30 minutes or something. It's not a full movie or anything. It's it's just fun to watch, and it's a little Christmas special they did. No, the only one that hasn't returned is the Green Girl.
Yeah, I think she was kind of snapped away, wasn't she?
Well, she came
back. She wasn't snapped away. She was destroyed in a way that the one that they have now is from a different time frame.
So now she don't know who what's his name is.
They have a different relationship, a more dynamic one, I think. I guess you could call it.
No, they're all kind of fun. I mean, they got boring towards the last ones, but they got predictable.
Well, we're starting to see the first few movies of the what is it, 4th phase 4. Spider-Man, I think, is coming out very soon. There's one with the X-Men. They're going to debut the X-Men in the Avengers, the new Avengers movie.
No, it's going to suck then.
they're going to debut, or they already have debuted, or they will debut Tony Stark, the actor who played Tony Stark, as Victor Von Doom. You know, Fantastic Four movie.
If Disney's producing it, I ain't even looking forward to seeing it. It's
I think they're all Disney.
Yeah, they are all Disney. Disney bought them all. They have to be Disney.
Well, not Spider-Man. Spider-Man still is on loan or whatever, leased to Sony, but there's a deal where Sony's letting them use the title for Marvel now. I don't know. It's a weird thing about.
Yeah, well, the X-Men in the beginning wasn't with Marvel either. They were with something else. There's a lot of shit. But lately they've been buying everything. I mean, they bought up Star Wars. I mean, Jesus, if they get their hands on Star Trek, that's the end of sci-fi, my guys.
Yes, it is.
You know, I mean, shit. No, they did damage. Just come on, let's just be honest. The last 3 Star Wars were basically the first 3 Star Wars.
Yeah, just retold.
Yes, the actors were okay. I mean, it was just. What's his name's lightsaber gave me a headache with it me all the time. Sound like a fucked up vibrator or something, but I thought the little girl or the young woman did a good job. I mean, she was okay. What was his name? The stormtrooper guy, he was okay. The fighter pilot guy, he was okay. I mean, everybody. See, but that's the problem was they were all okay. So. You can't be okay and stand out from Luke Skywalker. And they tried to paint Luke down as much as they could. Think about it. They broke him down as much as they could. He tried to kill what's his name's kid. He tried to do this. He tried to do that. He was hiding out on an island. They broke him down as much as they could. And still, none of them could compare to him. I remember he's standing out there in that desert thing, just standing there looking, yeah, blow me up. And nothing happens. I mean, yeah, it's just they created a legend, and you need a legend to replace a legend. You mean Solo, the guy who plays Solo? Solo was. I'll tell you what I liked about Solo. You want to know what I liked about Solo? That's when they met Chewbacca.
Yeah,
and that's when you find out Chewbacca is one old bastard.
He was 290 years old then, so
yeah, that's when you find out he's an old bastard. Yeah. You mean the girl? She was okay, but we already knew that wasn't going to amount to nothing. You know, because we know the future part of that.
They did though kind of sort of try to start to set up a good camaraderie for a second and a third, but then at some point during those projects, so the idea of event really was that they were going to do Solo, and not to make a pun, Solo stories, like the origins of
Solo stories,
Obi-Wan and all that, and then they were going to do two or three of each person, like 2 or 3 origin stories of Obi-Wan, 3 origin stories of yada yada. But then they changed the idea to just do 1 and 1 and 1 and 1, and then they didn't even do Obi-Wan. They took Obi-Wan and put him into a TV show and put him somewhere between the end of the Death Star and the beginning of the First Order.
Yeah, which was a little bit on the confusing side, to be honest with you. And then it kind of seemed like it was out of step when we were watching Mandalorian, because he visited with Obi-Wan, and then I'm thinking, okay, something screwy here, and it was something to do with somewhere else they were, and they go back to fucking Tatooine a lot. Well, I'll be thinking it's a forced planet at this rate. It's the little kid who played Darth Vader, we'll call him, was pretty good. Yeah, he was okay. The young guy who took over he's a good looking guy and all and stuff. And he ended up going back to the other side of the Force when he died. So if you haven't seen it, spoilers my ass. If you haven't seen it by now, too bad for you. Yeah, but we got to go. It's 1 in the morning. It's 2. Jay's like turning purple and shit.
Yeah, it's 2:00 up here. Just real quick, Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars. He's playing Victor Von Doom in those 2 movies. He also looks like he's got a 3rd Sherlock Holmes movie coming up. He's playing Sherlock Holmes, obviously. and then a couple other weird ones. But he's got 2 Avengers movies coming up.
Yeah, well,
and the Secret Wars is cool because they have to have Spider-Man in that, and that's where he gets the black costume, and that's where they'll have to reintroduce Venom.
Yes, I just what did I see? I just seen one of the Fantastic Four not too long ago. The new one.
The new one with the guy who played Mandalorian.
Yeah, that he. You know, I hate to say it, Fantastic Four is just it wasn't bad, but it was just the same. See, people, this is the problem with origin stories. How many fucking times are you going to tell me the same story? Just because every time we get a new actor, we have to. Why can't we just move on? We all know what Superman's origin stories is. We don't have to go back. Every actor doesn't have to replay his origin story. Just move on.
The new one was pretty good. I mean, they mentioned about it, they talk about it, and then they really do hint at the new guy being very, very close to Christopher Reeve's style of being Superman.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I wasn't taken away, but I wasn't putting back either. So I put it back, I guess you'd say. But we've only seen him one time, so we'll see after. Linda likes the guy before him.
Oh shit!
I can't think of his name. He's got 2 big roles coming up. He's got Highlander and something else.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things that are being rebooted.
Yeah, but he's got 2 big ones.
Yeah.
And that Highlander, rebooting Highlander is a big one. No, it's the original story retold. Because there's no fucking originality left on our planet, apparently.
No, I thought the Highlander one, they were going to be doing it after, like they were going to ignore the second movie and just do it like as a follow-up to the first and third movies.
Well, one of the scenes looked like it was just the first movie.
No, it might be. I don't know.
Well,
that would suck.
Well, Jamie, until I see a trailer, I'm not biting on anything. Especially like, what you just said about the fuck you just said it to Serenity Fire.
Yeah, Serenity Firefly. They're coming back.
Until I see a pilot, I'm not buying it.
It is. It'll be in the fall of 2026. It's going to be Malcolm Reynolds and River Tam. Everyone else is dead.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, they're the 2 biggest stars anyway, but no, River's got a cop TV show she does or something.
Well, they're all still very active. Nathan Fillion's doing a TV show. Miranda Baccarin's in several movies coming out, and she's in a TV show where she's like the sheriff.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's I've seen part of it. They all got, they're all staying busy. We'll see how it goes. Serenity was killed before its time. Dun, 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 dun. But we got to go, guys and girls. Anyway, I thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I see you got your good 4 hours plus tonight. Be sure to check out it. Of course, if you got any moans, groans, bitches, and complaints, write to Heidi. Yes, we want to start sending complaints to Heidi, especially since she's not here right now. So, yeah, write to Heidi. Just come on one of the Facebook pages and say, "Hi, Heidi. Joe said to write this to you." Yes, we're going to make it official secretary.
Yeah,
well, no, no, secretary ain't a good. We'll have to think of a different title, but because secretaries are just kind of
executive assistant.
Yeah, executive assistant. There we go. That works. That works. But on that note, we got to go, guys and girls. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio News on the flip side. Of course, if you have any troubles, any problems, write to Heidi. She said she loves y'all. I'm going to bed. I'm going to eat, and I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch some TV and then crash.
I might see if there's any cake left. Yeah, I might see if I can get into some cake. Yeah.
Ooh, we made chili tonight. I'm going to go see if there's some chili downstairs.
Yeah, we got this chocolate fudge cake. It's like eating chocolate ice cream as a cake. It's good anyway. I want to thank everybody, and thank everybody for all the warm wishes for my birthday yesterday. I appreciate it, guys and girls. Somebody asked me yesterday, girl, "Well, you've been busy. What have you been doing?" I said, "I've been just doing a little partying for my birthday." And they're like, "Oh, your birthday? What is that?" And I was like, "It's I think it was today." And she's like, when I told her it was today, she's like, "Really? How long have I been knowing you?" I said, "I don't know, like 18 years." She said, "I don't know your birthday. Shame on me." I said, "I thought you were on my Facebook page." She said, "Yes, it tells you on the fucking page."
It tells you, yeah.
I said, "If you've got an active page, it just tells you." I said, "Shit, the other day I wish like 30 people happy birthday. I didn't know who the fuck they were." I wrote him a little note. Nice to meet you. Hope you're enjoying your life. I had no fucking clue who they were. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. Thanks again for you tuning in to United Public Radio News on the Flip Side. I hope you have a good rest of your night or a good early morning. It's Saturday morning. Oh, and for everybody else, be careful. It's going to get cold as fuck, slippery as fuck, night ass nasty as fuck. I think where I'm living is going to be right under the ice, so we're going to be okay. Jay's going to probably get snow. Everybody in between us is going to get fucking ice.
We're looking at about up to 2 feet, I think.
No, people, you got to get it straight. Sleet's one thing, ice is another thing. One just comes down a little pellets and hits the ground. One sticks to everything it does and just expands.
If they explained it, if you get sleet, it will help reduce the overall snow accumulation. If you get freezing rain and snow, what you'll get is a layer of ice, a layer of snow, a layer of ice, a layer of snow, and then it's the most treacherous condition you can think of. Sleet and snow, you're okay. Ice, freezing rain, and snow, it's treacherous.
Yeah. Well, they were showing most people. If you ever seen those ships sitting out on the oceans when they're just sitting there, and you see the big hunks of ice hanging off of them, that's what they're saying they're going to get. Yeah, I'm sorry for all y'all live out in Texas anyway. There's big pine trees and power lines. Just be careful. Get an extra heater. Get some extra blankets. Just get warm. If everything goes, find a hotel where you got power. On that note, good night, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
See ya.